Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. We are about to go into the first battle. I'm Germ, joined by Smiley. We are trying to make sure everything is set up as beautifully as possible at the last possible moment. As we get in... Whoops, wrong scene. We're in the right scene. As we get into the first round of a best of 15 between the CIS region and North America region. CRAKD versus CHI is how I was told it's pronounced. Smiley is doing some last second adjustments as we get ready to go in. How you doing today, Smiley?
Yeah, I'm doing good.
Holy we don't have cams set up, unfortunately, right now. Well, we do. Yeah. Smiley stream, twitch.tv/smiley or not just Smiley Rage, no underscores, and Germ_NA is me. So, you know, tab between the tabs and just kind of like crop your windows and you can get the webcam for each of us there. We're going into the first round as North America takes on RU. We begin on ENSK. It is a best of 15 Clan Wars format. As I tab into game, there are no limitations on tanks, as we can see here with the tanks being readied up. CRAKD from North America bringing, my goodness, it looks like 7 chieftains. My goodness, 2 E4s, 2 E3s, and then 3 279Es. CHI bringing 1 E4, 2 VZ55s, and then just a whole bunch of 279Es. Smiley.
Yeah.
What you think? We're in game as ENSK. You can see CRAKD from North America here. This is a show match. There are drops enabled on both of our channels, as well as the an A channel. Make sure you have your stuff, your World of Tanks account linked to your Twitch in order to receive those drops. So we're seeing some Clan Wars action here, a little bit different than what we've seen traditionally in the recent past, because we've been seeing things like 6-on-6, 7v7, but now it's back to the good old big brawly things. And look at this media aggression from CHI as they start pressing to the north. They are on attack on this round, and all these 279s with special tanks being allowed. Think this is the last battle we're going to see 279s today?
On the 279E, going down the rails.
Yeah, this is just very hyper aggression from the Russians, and here they go. Solutions and Cloverfield
Chase
are going.
And Octo looking in to flank those 279Es on the 7 line.
OP taking a bunch of damage. He will go down here in just a moment as Solutions lines up. One of the kill shots, he doesn't get the high roll, but they do
Mark getting the
finish
first kill on a 279E on the rails.
And HP, you can see, heavily in favor of CRAKD, about 5,000 in total, and CRAKD opting for a more balanced lineup, while CHI went for a lot of 279Es. What do you think of the reward tanks, meta, Smiley? Since I'm sure that's what chat will always love to talk about when they see these types of lineups.
What did you ask me?
What do you think about the reward tank meta, or clan, 279Es, chieftains, 907s? What do you think about that? Because I'm sure that's what chat will be talking about a lot.
I think most people think it's news fest, but I think mainly that's because of how long it's been a meta. Personally.
It's been quite a while since the 279 even came out, now that I think of it. And the Chieftain, correct, too. Chieftain's been like, it's several reward tanks ago. Several campaigns ago. I mean, we've had the Caro come out. I think even the 121B was after the Chieftain, was it not?
Yeah.
121B has not found its place in the meta yet. We stand by as we await for its alpha to be doubled and its DPM to be upped by 30%. Then the 121B will be the staple Clan Wars medium tank. But until that time, I think you will just have to do with seeing maybe one every 2 weeks or so in a pub battle. And just this attrition.
And it looks like CRAKD is doing really well. The HP is kind of similar. And they what'd you call it again? Pissy?
CHI? I'm sure I'm pronouncing it incorrectly. I asked a Russian friend last night, how do I pronounce this? And I'm sure if there's any Russian speakers in chat, please let us know. I was told it's pronounced like CHI.
Right. So Sihi is they're actually kind of evening it up here, actually.
Yeah, a
Especially
couple of
with that
isolations.
single chieftain down alone. It's Octo down alone against a man named Lazy Cheek in an E4.
Now, Locks and
Oh, it
Skittles are
looks like
pushing in on
Lazy's
Ox.
actually able to pick up that kill there. Yeah, Vermilion still on the rails trying to pick 400 HP 279E. He got a hold down and he is shooting into their courtyard here for practically free. Probably looking to actually get a kill here, but they do all still have enough HP that he's actually gonna get flanked here by the E4, so he needs to get his shots off while he can.
Yeah, and looks like he was able to ricochet one of the shots from the 279s, and yet he just can't quite find the shot through that box. And yeah,
And it looks like early game, Cracked kind of had an advantage, but Sihi ended up taking it.
there were a lot of little fights and maneuvers that started happening kind of after the call. You saw the isolation there on Ox. You saw 2 isolations on some 279Es on Cracked before that. But HP 5K
This
to
is really
3400.
interesting because E4 still hasn't went for Vermilion.
Yeah,
And
maybe
he's just shooting into that courtyard, and that's really important. I think he should be kind of looking for that, but he isn't.
Yeah, it looks like now that you mention it is when he is actually going to look for that shot as he aims it in on Vermilion. He makes sure it connects.
And he does get it. A low roll, though, and now he's crossing.
Now he will be stuck
now
on
with
that side.
E3 out of play, being hold down against their 279Es, their 279Es probably are going to push out here really soon. As you can see, yep. 3 poking in onto Flounder, and Flounder goes down. Fishy down to 22 HP. It looks like Iox is looking to flank. Brett looking to get that shot. He does get the kill shot down. December now against, I guess you would call that Flux. Call him Flux.
Yeah, let's call him
VZ.
Flux. We got Flux, and now Brett looking for Skittles. Not the candy, the player from Russia. He will find him, and he is above him, though. And with the 279 being above, Brett has to, like, get this shot, but he's going to just get shot in the side, and he goes down with the side shot from Paradise. I'm not sure what he was looking to do there, or if they were just in a panic mode. I'm unsure. And now December goes down, and this is going to be a Sihi victory.
Yeah. It's going to be.
So the initial advantage went to Crack, but then this slow stall happened in a couple of isolations and just minor movements. 3 tanks here, 2 tanks there, and Sihi were just able to outmaneuver Cracked, and they win an ENSK attack to begin the battles.
Mm-hmm.
So they look for muscles over here. A lot of familiar names for the NA scene. Maybe less so familiar names for the RU scene for NA and English speakers. Maybe some players are not as familiar with. Overfield should get the kill here in just a moment. Nope, it'll be Lazy Cheek from all the way down, and Skittles, of course, with the final friendly fire shot. So this is a best of 15, Smiley.
Yeah, that's it sounds like a lot of fun.
8 victories. Most NA are used to best of 7, like the World Series. This is like the World Series +1. We wait for the post-game stats to load on my very slow potato PC on non-SSD EU client. They are playing on EU here, so that there's some middle ground on the ping for all the players, but looking at the post stats, Dark Ninja got out 6,500 damage in an E3, Muscles 4K, Brett 4K, December 3K. Meanwhile, Lazy Cheek 5,500 in that E4, getting those last shots on Vermilion that were very important, and 5 kills. Skittles 5K. Lux 4,500, Paradise 3,300. Very nicely done. And now, again, apologies to those we were not able to configure our webcams appropriately for this, so we just have on my stream just little old me, and on Smiley's stream just little old Smiley.
Yeah.
But
not wrong.
If you guys look to my to the bottom right of my screen, you can see there's still a Smiley Rage name tag there, so that you guys know who I'm talking to.
Yep. Same with me.
In case anyone forgets.
Bro, how do you make the mini map bigger though?
Oh shoot! Did I actually make my mini map bigger? Oh, and
No,
also I'm gonna remind
to...
you, Smiley, with 1 minute. I'm gonna ready up.
Yeah, I readied up.
Gotta remember to do that. We're used to operating on a clean feed most recently, so there's always different events,
I
different
don't
things.
know how to work the camera. I don't know what I'm doing, dude.
I've done it a few times, but it just takes a little warming up to and getting used to.
Right.
And then the commands become second nature. I remember using one of the free cams like 5 years ago and got used to all those commands, and then the commands changed. This one's so much more streamlined, but I'm still finding myself doing it. It was like caps F3 to unlock your camera back then or something, and I'm always like triggered to pushing that command.
Right.
And that's a weird command.
So how do I switch?
Oh yeah, we have to switch the thingies, don't we? Make sure in the little score to put a 1 for C. I don't think we have to switch their sides or anything though. Famous last words though. Because it should show them as being on side number 2 still, according to this. We got 10 seconds until we go into the next battle. We will see here, guys. So, North Americans, make sure that you guys are giving CRAKD your energy. Can't be beaten by the Russians. The world tanks get beaten by them a lot of the times. And now, going into ENSK battle number 2, we have CRAKD bringing a lone AMX-50B, 1 E100, 3 279Es. I think that's 6 chieftains, 3 E3s, 1 E4C. He bring in 4 279s, a whole bunch of chieftains, and then BZ and an E4. Smiley, what's your ideal ENSK lineup? What do you like to play on it? 279E?
Yeah.
The chieftains...
I don't know, because I like the Roin, I guess. Chieftains are really good on... Chieftains are only really good, I would feel like. They're really good for 9-0 line. Right? Because of the way that specifically 0 line. Because of the way that ridge works back there. But I think that South usually actually has an advantage if both teams were to bring like a whole bunch of chieftains and take them to the 0. South would actually have the advantage. But it looks like
that's what he's going to do
is
from the
actually
north.
Not even going to take the 0, and pretty sure looking at this lineup, OP Hacker is most likely calling. So he is probably calling that flex up to north. They're just going to take half that side of the map. And for those of you that are really familiar with NA names, probably recognize a lot of them.
Yeah, this is a who's who of any event that you've seen casted here or played at the top end of Clan Wars or tournament play in North America. You got Muscles, Ox, December. I mean, really, who do I not recognize? Who's JH?
Who do you not recognize?
I actually don't think there's any names that I don't recognize on the CRAKD team. I was trying to see if there's usually one, but nope. So
I'm guessing a spectator can't switch minimap size unless my keys are.
Oh yeah, you probably can't. It's just a default size. It's made a little bit bigger than the default, so it's at least viewable, but it is a little bit.
It's tiny, bro.
If there is a command, I am not familiar with it.
Because then we could go into a training room together and make it bigger. You know what I mean? We should have. I didn't even realize that. That's kind of our bad.
Yeah, it should be big enough. But yeah, I see what you mean, because the minimap can be cluttered. This is the thing with people that play World of Tanks a lot, and especially people that cast and call. You guys like looking at the pretty buildings and stuff. Most of the time when I'm looking or Smiley's looking, we're just staring at that mini-map and we're watching people move around. Like, I'm watching Muscles, like, even though Muscles is in the center of my screen moving across the courtyard, I'm saying, oh, the 50B is condensing into the 6 line. Like,
Fennec is kind of in a bad spot. It's down to 977. He is isolated, as he is the only one on, like, the high 6 line. It looks like OP is actually moving up.
It's just little stalemate.
Against the 279E. Part of the
There's a lot of little things going on.
I'm just gonna abbreviate most of the Russian names.
Paradise. Paradise.
Paradise. Paradise.
He's using that hull down behind those flatbed train cars that's
I
commonly
was really
used in
surprised
bugs.
he was contesting that, but he seemed to back off. He
Kind of goes, yeah, he knows what
yeah, and it looks like Fennec just keeps on getting just clapped.
These crack shots, under the rails between the cars. This is where all these little bleeds happen.
He got hit between two sets of there.
December taking
December
a shot
now
there.
looking to move up and also getting.
Ooh, Paradise not able to connect that, but it was close. I think it may have been a heat fizzle on the spaced on the track. I'm not sure if it hit the car or not.
And this becomes a tying game, and I would say that Sihi, right?
Mm-hmm. Sure.
No, actually, what is it?
It means tomato soup. Oh.
So
that's what someone said in chat. Okay.
Oh, nice. Sick.
And yeah, it's just a stalemate. This is ENSK and Clan Wars kind of, and this is what happens. It's very hard map to attack on, but Sihi were able to win a victory on attack from the south. But now it's just stalemated into an east-west brawl, and you basically can't. The cap pressure is just not an option for CRAKD. They have to find a way to get an isolation and some picks, and just Sihi are set up perfectly. They have the whole 990 line side. They have tanks in their Paradise's position that are just really difficult to pick, and they have so many guns able to support, and they're not able to really bleed anything anywhere.
To be honest with you,
October.
I don't know what the attacking side on these maps are for regular Clan War. Do you know?
I just unless it flipped, I just have so many PTSDs of South ENSK attack over the years.
Right.
Just
it's
over
South ENSK attack. Yeah, I think you're absolutely right.
And that North Turtle of an E3 hanging out at A0 or something like that back in the day, and it is.
Yeah, so it is definitely South.
Yeah, it should be.
Hopefully you remember all of them, because I don't.
Oh, I'm not gonna remember all of them. We'll see. It'll be the maps that I played a lot of Clan Wars on, and you know how Clan Wars was back in the day.
If like a strat sketch, shows on that, right? Red green or whatever.
It should, yeah. Side 1, side 2. Unless it just stays the same, then that would mean that Sihi's on attack every round first, which would hopefully be the case.
No, wait, you're right. Sihi is on attack every round first, and CRAKD is on defense. I remember that.
And Sihi actually grouping up a bunch of tanks in the north now. I don't think they're looking to push, but maybe they are. There's 4 minutes remaining there. The HP is pretty much dead even, and actually they're just preparing. And here comes the CRAKD push in the north, and they're going in straight for Paradise, taking a bunch of damage in the process. Paradise down to 400 HP. The south flank going on. One bounce shot, though, I think, from the E100 does not connect. He's down to 19 HP. Another bounce on the side turret. Another bounce on the side turret. Paradise is bouncing every round, and now he goes down. And that is the first one of the round. About 6, 7, 8 minutes in. With 3.5 remaining. CRAKD have to kill 14 more. And you can see here the southern play, external leading in the 279. Brett and Chase are there. Chase down to a one-shot, external down to a one-shot now as well. He will probably go down here in just a moment, but they aren't going to overextend for the kill shot. And yeah, CRAKD bleeding a little bit more than Sihi here, down about 3,000 or 4,000. And just, it's so punishing trying to push on ENSK. And now Chase does go down. The counterplay coming in from Sihi. They will have isolation after isolation. Brett will be the next to go down here in just a moment. Big crossfire coming in, though. Elam drop actually may go down first before Brett, and he does big damage, and Flounder able to get the kill. And this is actually closer than I thought it was going to be. Some maybe misplay. Sihi kind of getting a little strung out. A couple people kind of going on their own and just getting isolated, and what could have been just a for sure victory now. Harder to say. It's still very even, and Brett is alive with more and more wrecks, and he'll try to get the kill, and he does pick it between the wrecks, and now he's down to 850. Oh, what a nice shot there on the fishy. And now 2 minutes remain as you hear the bell. The bell? The horn.
The bell. Ding, ding, ding.
Ding,
There's
ding,
the
ding.
bell.
And yeah, it's really hard to commentate on an all-out slugfest of 279s and chieftains on ENSK in close quarters. It's just back, forth, back, forth, back, forth. But now you can see the fourth has happened and see he's just up a commanding amount. There was only a doubt for like a slight second there, but it was only because he were up so much and then they just kind of got a little bit maybe over antsy, overzealous with a couple players and made it a little bit closer than it actually was. The drops should be enabled on both of our channels, as far as I am aware.
Rob.
The drops... Yeah, drops should be enabled.
There's drops for this?
I think so. Or maybe it's just on the World of Tanks channel. Maybe there's not drops. Maybe I'm lying. It's totally possible. Checking the post-game stats.
I had it for some reason. So is Crack's gold, right? And
I have it set to gold. Yes.
Okay, that was me. And so what was that? Was a victory for RU team again? So
Correct.
It's 2-0?
It is 2-0. So I'm not like flipping the sides on the observer mod. I just do
no, I think mine was wrong the whole time, and I just didn't realize.
I just defaulted to that on that sides, and actually I think I just got lucky. 50-50 chance. We got 2 minutes till we go to Live Oaks. Post-game stats, JH getting the most damage, followed by Dark Ninja, followed by Muscles and Ox. Meanwhile, Andrew... Let's call him Andrew, that's it. Okay. 4,200 and 3 kills in his chieftain. Taj getting out 4k and 4 kills. Owner getting out 4k and 3 kills. Skittles tasting the rainbow with 3,600. And then Alum dropped 3k as well. So now with a 2-0 lead for RU after ENSK, NA, this is one of the, if not the top NA Clan Wars clan right now. And as far as I know, see, he's like they're not middle tier. They're well above average. So they're a good clan, but they're not like the top of RU. But they're certainly competitive, and hopefully NA can manage to muster some wins, because we're going to Live Oaks here, a much more open map than ENSK, and maybe one that CRAKD will be a little more comfortable on. But see, he showing some very good early aggression on both maps, on both rounds of ENSK, taking the positions they really wanted, and just dictating the flow from there, and doing whatever they felt like they had the side of the rails they wanted to defend from, and they didn't really have to adjust much. Now we're getting ready to go into the next round. Yes, some of the commands, by the way, for our mini maps and things are a little bit different on the spectator.
Yeah.
All of our commands for UI and stuff are a little bit different, and we're just not always as used to it. So Smiley, we're going back to America. Going to down to the Live Oaks and Swampland.
Word.
What tanks are we gonna see? It's your cue, Smiley.
What was that?
What tank are we gonna see?
Oh, well, we are going to 2790 Chieftain EBRs from both sides. Actually, a T100 and a Leo 1 from the RU side. Yeah,
the T100. We've seen it used some. But not it definitely with the EBR and on maps like this, it has to be really specific what they plan to do with it. And I mean, it can be kind of a hindrance in some ways, but the profile and the raw camo value could be useful. It has the extra view range, but you really have to know exactly what you're doing with a T100 or any light tank that's not an EBR if you are planning to bring it. And it looks like that's exactly what they plan to do. They're going to use its profile down here, since the wheelies have some issues in the swampland. And Unlucky is dead, and yeah, here's the T100 profile. It's taken down to 700, 200, and dead. And in the opening 45 seconds, 2 light tanks from Russia are dead. That is not how you hope to start it. And if I know anything about Russian teams, when something like that happens, they tend to go hyper aggressive immediately afterwards, because they know that whatever plan they do, if they slow play it, they're probably going to be at a massive disadvantage. So they have to just take what they can do. So a split overall, a few tanks from Sihi in the south, while more tanks from CRAKD in the south than Sihi, but all those 279s anchoring that B4 position. Just trying to be a stopgap, I guess. But yeah, now you can see CRAKD have the swamp area in the middle with an EBR for eyes. They're just more and more condensing, and you can see this rotation on the 0 line. All of these tanks, these chieftains have rotated back because they're going to do exactly what I said they're going to do. They're going to find a push somewhere, and they know the push can't be on the DE line. And look at this. CRAKD have already started responding as well, but they're going to be a little bit behind as they rotate. They need to take a very aggressive route. So right now they're taking a very slow route, but they have an EBR in the middle. They should be okay, but yeah, it's going to depend on whether or not when this push comes in. I try to find where the tanks are. Here they come. The chieftains are echeloning up for their first volley. And ready, Sunrise Tojo going in at the front, taking a bunch of damage. Red Eye is down to a one-shot immediately. OP Hacker now goes down to 1k, but they do pick up the kill, and now a little bit of a counterplay as they go straight in for... I'm calling him Tojo. I don't know what you call him. Smiley. Tito.
I'm gonna call him Tojo too.
Whatever it is, he's dead now. You take it, Smiley. I can't.
I'm gonna go down here next on Until Sunrise. Yep, JH trying to simp for him, but it did not work out.
You can see the 279Es even on the 0 line have started to return. They will be joining the fight soon, and here they come. Fishy leading. Kenway the boy!
Into Kenway the boy, yeah. Into Flux and Rio. Flux goes down, getting crossfired from middle here. As you can see, external November and even Muscles are shooting him in the butt. And it looks like CRAKD is actually gonna pull this out pretty cleanly, by taking out those 2 light tanks in the beginning of the game. It was just really big.
Yeah, getting those early picks on. I mean, you bring 3 light tanks aside, or realistically, it's you brought 3 light tanks and the enemy team brought 2, and you lost 2 at the start. That is a gross miscalculation of whatever your initial scout loops were or what you were anticipating could happen, because that T100, I just happened to be spectating him when he was going in. He got lit before he went into the bush.
Right.
And then volleyed afterwards, so it was like...
I was trying to figure out how to switch the teams. Because they've been improperly...
I have CRAKD on the left and Sihi on the right, if that helps.
Yeah, I do. No, yeah, it wasn't that. It was like a team color. So it was like, I was going like gold for Sihi.
Oh. Well, you don't have to use the you can just use like whatever generic color you want.
I figured it out.
Oh, okay.
I thought he meant in garage, but he meant no. I was like, huh? I was like reading. I had no idea what was going on.
So CRAKD getting a very decisive victory, while Sihi was very decisive on ENSK in the second battle on their defense. The first one was very close, but it was hard to attack.
To be honest with you, though, I'm not really surprised that an NA team lost 2 ENTs. I mean, when do we ever play it? I mean, the same thing happened.
It's the thing. Everyone in NA hates it so much. They're just like, ugh.
sometimes it's not even in like it's not even in a lot of our tourneys and stuff like that. Like I'm not trying to like cope or anything, you know? Like
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying that we just do not play it. And I don't know any caller off the top of my head that likes it. Like, you know, you got Chase, Knight,
I used to like it back in the
Jack,
day, but
Oak.
then
Like I don't think any of them like it.
things changed on ENSK, let's just say. It was a
Ready up
little
real
bit different
quick.
in the
Oh, look
meta
at that.
long ago. Long,
Look at
long ago.
that. Vermilion, aka the Skip Star, doing 5,200 damage and 3 kills. And his chief.
And NA teams typically tend to favor open maps a lot more. I don't know why that is. I don't think that Russian teams necessarily dislike open maps, but Russian teams tend to thrive in more brawly scenarios, I find, and maps like Himmelsdorf, Ensk maybe lead more to that type of gameplay, but this is just really talking in generalities. And Kenway, 3k damage. Wonder what Kenway's ping is like. We have a minute and a half here before we go into the next round. Update the scoreline to show that CRAKD have, in fact, put up a 1 on the board. So again, this is best of 15. First to 8 will be victorious. We've actually got some interesting tanks readied up. Or I should say interesting vehicle, singular, readied up on my side, Smiley. When we get into the next battle, I will let
My
you
side
discover
doesn't
it.
have any victories.
We're each on different sides on the battle ready up screen.
I got 260s and Sturves.
Ooh, okay, so there are some interesting things. I have one interesting thing. Let's just say that it is a favorite among very few people, but they are very vocal about it. And it's a tinderbox. And it's either really, really good or really, really bad. It's a mana core. But on Live Oaks, a mana core with its view range could be actually do some work.
If it's a mana core, well, I mean it is NA. You do like he's probably gonna use the Night One Riders.
Maybe something similar to what we saw that T100 try to do in the last round. Unsuccessfully.
Well, there's like this weird spot where a mana core is on the edge of drowning to death. And if anybody can do it, it probably would be Muscle. No, I'm serious. Like there's like a spot on this map.
Oh.
It's weird. It's like in the I think it's on the G lane. And it's like this weird because there's this bush in the water that's actually real. So he can sit there and fight the PRs, and he's like he has to you know, because light tanks keep their chem on the move. He has to move a little bit so that he doesn't drown. But it's like
so it's like he's in the bush, but he has to keep moving like to get his turret to poke out of water briefly.
Yeah.
I want to see this.
I don't know if that's the spot they're doing. Because it might just have the mana core because of the fact that it's camo rating.
Yeah, you can see Muscles here going down into that swamp area right now. Yeah, a lot of weird little bush play. I
can't remember what side it was on either. Oh, he looks like he's just taking a regular...
Just a normal bush looking for eyes that he can find on anything. He hasn't spotted anything quite yet. But it's also kind of a scouting in position as well to counter scout. And now that both EBRs are lit, you can see Muscles is actually moving up. Because he knows that there's no light tank right there right now.
He has turbo, bounty low noise exhaust, optic.
Actually, he's in a very aggressive bush now.
Very aggressive. You have to be really careful, like the nerves, right? Yeah. Well, look at these Ninos.
Yeah, look at that. That's a very aggressive play, and it has to be on the back of the mana core because they've spotted a lot of the play with the 260 aggression. And now they're just going to set up here because they have to protect those 907s Fishy in November with guns on the sea line and from the south because they were given the south for free. And now they just, but a lot of damage coming in November down to 800 health. That was
from 500 from Owner. It looks like, November. So much damage. Fishy.
Oh, and he does go down.
I
Maybe
don't
just
know.
not quite enough room there for both of them. I'm unsure because it is an awkward spot.
It seems like Fishy's fine. It seemed like he just needed to hug Fishy more.
Yeah. So a little
Fishy
mistake
here
there.
gonna get some damage out on this really interesting push here.
Yeah, they're just they're dumping the north right now. They're saying, okay, the 97's gonna
just
blink
going.
away.
They're just W can. As you can see, this is also a joint push happening down south, though it's going to be a little slower because it's only 2 EBRs and 2 Chiefs.
And that's a long push route in the south. It's gonna take a long time, and this squad of tanks here, Ox, Vermilion, Flounder, External, have to hold on as best as they can, bleed as much HP as they can, but HP in favor of
in the
CE.
back, hopefully getting shots on these guys because they're going to be over poking him.
Yeah, he's gonna try to get, it looks like, over a little bit towards the north. If he can do that, he can help get the angles, but External now taking bleed. They're just getting bled over and over, and they're just caught in this awful crossfire.
Yeah, they're getting shot by those two. That 260 looks like is just hold down and just getting nice side shots.
What an interesting aggressive play by Crack, but see, he had a very fast response to it. Very fast. And look at that, even Elix just driving in, being like, I can use the Rex, I can shield, and I can get these extra kills. He drives past now, and Flounder will be the next to go down, and he does go down. HP in favor of CE by only a couple of thousand, and Lux may die here in just a moment. Maybe not. Should die second. October, no, Dark Ninja gets the kill.
I don't even want to know what Kenway's ping is.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. And Kenway getting pushed now.
I mean, it might be better than NA. I don't know.
It could be. I doubt it, but it could be.
It's sometimes it's weird, you know what I mean? Because it would be because the thing is, like, all the oceanic, and what I mean by that, I don't mean like the oceanic. I mean
not
like
region, but yeah, like the
like
ocean internet lines.
They all have like fiber, right? Underwater and stuff, so he might get a little bit, but I doubt it. I think this man's playing on like 200 or something.
Probably.
Like maybe even more.
Yeah, Kenway from South America. I tend to get pretty good ping
From
to
Brazil,
Western
yeah.
Europe, and
I mean, I don't know what my ping is because it doesn't show it, but I know I don't have a lot. I don't even know it's pretty high because I'm on the West Coast.
yeah, exactly. And a lot of these players are either from the West Coast or even like the Midwest Central area. Like if you're around Chicago or Texas or whatever, your ping to EU is much worse. And see, it's kind of stalemated here. HP about 1k in favor of CE, but they are on attack, right? So they have to make something happen in the last 5 minutes, and
they could probably start pressure if unlucky. That's what they're actually looking for, that EBR. Or they're waiting. They're gonna wait for. Here's the thing: December and their mana core is like what is literally keeping them from just straight up losing right now within this 5-minute timer. Because the thing is too, these cats not have bushes, right? And
unless they can get a wreck, like someone dies on it and they can give some cover, but even that's not perfect. I mean, in 1 HE shell,
they don't have any tanks like big enough, right? Like I don't think a 260 or chieftain can hide an EBR like super effectively, especially if the enemy team really want to kill it. Muscle's still playing very passive here, which is good. Like he needs to stay alive. Ooh, looking to get some light. So it looks like Muscles might take this position.
I still always get a riot out of those tanks.
South with the other EBR, maybe.
I think that you hit the nail on the head because the second that Muscles kind of relocated there, you can see that EBR relocating to the south, and they started to leave a little bit of the south. They're going weaker on the south. It looks like the north is what they're scared of. They need to protect Kenway or at least punish them, and the chieftains are starting to make a little bit of a play on him, it appears, with the Red Eye making a play. But it's mana core with its gun, it always just makes me laugh. It just doesn't look. It looks like it's good, like it would be like kind of. Oh, and actually getting a shot there, Muscles. Very nice. It just looks like it's going to fall over.
Right.
The gun looks so heavy for its chassis. Kenway holding on for dear life.
I mean, they have 3 minutes, but the problem is they're playing pretty well.
Ooh, a sneaky shot there into the top of the turret Kenway as he was ramping up there. I think it was Lazy Cheek that got that in. But yeah, 3 minutes. Crack down to 6K. C down to 9. Ooh, and Muscle's getting another cheeky shot onto Lazy Cheek there.
When Kenway goes down, most likely it's going to be cap pressure time for them. Like, they're going to push through and cap pressure. And it looks like here to come.
Red Eye leading it. He's got the HP to take 2 hits and still survive. Needs to make this count. He does bounce 1 shell, and he does pick up the kill down to 700 health. He will continue on forward, but he's down to 50 health now. He'll try to get into that little dip. It's hard to see here, but anyone that's played a pub battle here knows that he's in a little bit of a divot. Try and just be as hold down as he can towards where Brett is. He has to be careful of blinds and being lit from where the mana core is, because he should be kind of permanent at this time. Ooh, the Sturf picked up OP.
What? That's not good.
Maybe they're overreacting in the south. I wasn't actually watching at that time. But there's only 2 minutes, and there's a lot of guns alive for CE. Not a lot of HP, but a lot of guns, and this Sturf has 1,500.
Maybe they were looking to try to, like, I thought that they were flexing the EBR, because they wanted to kind of, like, take south control and maybe pick the EBR, but they were playing so passively in their base. I think that they should have just played a little bit more defensively. They should have set up more defensively south, though. I don't know.
This is such a close game. This and the first ENSK game were both so close.
Close, yeah. December doing a really interesting run. It looks like he's trying to counter. EBR's coming for Muscle. He's just coming, and nobody has shots. 2 shots come out, they both miss. 1 shot goes out. HE from Muscles, low rolls. Looks like the EBR is looking to pick him.
Should have the reload on him. Ooh, 2 misses onto Solutions. He will
Solutions
live.
gets down to 1 shot. If they pick up Solutions, it will be really hard for Sihi to actually cap this. It looks like they actually might not cap. It looks like they might just push through.
I think they almost have to. They don't have any time to get anyone on the cap. But only the 260 and cheap can even remotely close. Yeah, and there's only 2 guns left. And they are hemmed in. But really using all of the time remaining.
I mean, I think the EBR could take the bottom corner peninsula and maybe live with this second left.
Ooh, December trying to get a kill. And with 30 seconds, I can't imagine he's unable to live this now. Oh, and down he goes with 22 seconds on the clock. Sihi wrapping up another victory, taking it to 3-1.
That's kind of interesting because I really feel that, like, it was one of those things where it kind of ended up, it's like the first match where the crack took it. Wait, what's the score, by the way? It's 1-3?
It is 1-3, yes, in favor of Sihi. And yes, also, guys, we are on a 10-minute delay, so sorry about like some of the chat interaction and stuff. If you have questions, I am reading it. Smiley's reading it too, just as a heads up. We're not as prompt. So yeah, it is 3-1 Sihi. Checking the post-game stats. Rambo and the Sturf get on almost 6,000 damage. I mean, that's what you need to do if you bring a Sturf. Red Eye getting out only 30. There wasn't a whole lot of damage to be done. 3,600 from Red Eye, but we saw that a lot of that damage was critical damage. So very well done by him. Kenway actually did top damage. I'm surprised, not necessarily surprised, but it was just surprised with his position at the end there. It just looked like he was in dire straits, but doing a very good job getting out 3,300. Muscles right behind him, and Dark Ninja right behind there with 3K as well. So the next map is going to be Cliff. They update my other score sheet. There we go, 3-1. And yeah, if I can't imagine Cliff being particularly campy. We've seen Cliff be campy in some of the attack defense formats with the like 6-on-6 or 7v7 type of events. But 15 on 15 is a whole nother matter on Cliff. I don't feel like camping is particularly going to work all that well. Has that been your experience as well?
Camping on Cliff. Can you imagine?
Like, there isn't enough space.
Small format is possible. Like 7v7, it is possible. Put a stirve, you put it like a, like a 277 in a, weird spot. Make sure that they don't, like, you have to kind of, in order to camp in small format though, you actually have to let them, right?
Yeah, and in this, it's like...
And then make it also useless, but with 15 on 15, it's almost possible.
It's like the stir position in the north is still a position, but the enemy has 8 more tanks that they can use to drive around, and it's like, okay, the stir punished the crossing. All right, yeah, but they just killed like half our team because that was all that happened.
Yeah.
Still may be a stir there, but yeah, you have to account for the other things, and probably going to see a bunch of chieftains, maybe the CS or two, an EBR, who knows? CS is going up for the lighthouse. We saw that quite a bit. We got 4 seconds as we go into the next round. Uh-oh, did you ready up?
Of course I did.
Somebody did not ready up.
Really? I'm in game.
I am too, but cracked her down a good person.
No shot.
Yeah. So we've got C bringing 260s. So we're seeing the 260's been dead on NA meta. Like I don't remember the last time I've seen it. Maybe one token one for a really specific position. But it's not a bad tank on this map. It's just that when you needed something with that much raw speed, you tended to see 277s, or really if you're bringing a 260, like, can the chieftain do the exact same thing but better? But I guess it just has to do with the raw speed and getting to a particular spot fast enough. That's the only thing, because it is slightly faster than a chieftain, but, you know, no gold APCR, lower DPM. Look at all these CSs going straight to the donut. 4 CE, 4 of them in total, and 1 going up towards the lighthouse ramp. And they're going to look to get punished on the middle here right at the start.
This November's going to take so much. He might actually go down. Going down to 476, and they're driving right into a crossfire.
Yeah, they immediately saw this split off of CSs onto the donut, and they just did not hesitate. They're going straight in. Fishy's actually going to push Owner in the CS off the ledge, and down he goes to the south. He's going to be out of the fight for a little while.
Taking 600 damage. I actually caught that. Oh my gosh. And then his counter is just pushing straight over. So now all these 907s are getting bleed. Yeah, Dark is going to go down here.
Yeah,
so many
Ox goes down.
At him, though.
It's just chaos, and here up 5,000 plus HP right now. My God.
Climb and is on this really interesting spot on the map. Just looking to get safe. He probably already clipped. He's looking to clip again and get some really good damage in. OP is probably going to be the next one going down, surrounded by enemy. And it looks like he has this. I don't see how they could lose this. I mean, they were already 1 up at the beginning of the game, which probably allowed them to be even more aggressive.
Yeah. And the 907s were just a little slow.
Sterling has a lot of HP. If he can just kind of keep his one-shot boys alive, but it looks like Unlucky is going to come in. Fennec probably should have backed off instead of going forward here. He needs to let External use his HP. Oh no, some driving issues here. Flounder is going to go down next.
HP is so not close, but the tank numbers were somewhat close. And yeah, maybe that one tank being missing was a problem, but I don't know if it was the 907s that were issued, because they were able to get in there, but it's to the point where the push over the middle is just right at the same time.
I mean, they were 1 down, and then they took initial bleed, right? Like, they took more bleed in the beginning of the game, so it was kind of just like, I personally.
And that was a fast response from CRAKD, but it just, even with the fast reaction, just like you said, were there. They were ready, and they got a lot of punish.
I don't know. I mean, look at the HP That's literally
It's
almost
literally
a tank
one
for it.
tank difference.
Yeah, literally like a chieftain. You know what I mean? Like a chieftain HP almost. It's a little over chieftain HP. So it's like, because they only had 3 chiefs. That's pretty light on Cliff.
It's really
I feel
light.
like yeah, I feel like a Cliff lineup. Feel like somebody forgot to ready up a because I think I just realized I think Kenway didn't make it into. I think Kenway was supposed to be a chief, and he's not there. That's
Kenway is
exactly what.
always a chief.
Yeah, he's either a chief or a cron. But with that lineup, that sucks. So Kenway probably lagged out and couldn't get back because of the
Oh,
because
he's
how long
running
it
up
takes.
now in the training room.
Oh, oh.
Oh, he's having a bug.
Yeah.
His ammunition is. He says his ammunition is showing empty every time.
Oh, he needs to tell. Could you tell him to set up 1 ammunition and then field mod it and disable it in the field mod?
Set
Yeah,
up
so
one
he needs to set up
ammunition
1.
and
Yeah, and then disable the field mod option. Because there's a field. So if you go into the field mods, there's a. You should know. Somebody should know on that team. So there's an option in the game now, Germ, recently, where if you don't want 2 ammo loadouts because you don't want to see that display, you go into the field mod
oh, I can't
and
actually
you
type in it.
disable it.
Maybe it's because I'm readied up.
And so he can disable it so he doesn't have 2 ammo loadouts. Does that make sense? So it'll only show as 1. Because that's a field mod issue. That's unfortunate. Yeah, no, so I know yeah. No, I knew exactly what happened. I was like, "Wait, I don't see Kenway." So Kenway is supposed to be chief. No, I think if they had 4 chiefs, that would've been super close. I'm not saying this would've lost, but it would've been really close.
Yeah, I sent
See,
him
he
a
still would've had
message.
the advantage. They still would've had the advantage because they got really good initial bleed, but I mean, Fishy's play where he pushed off like a almost full HP CS was insane. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
that was insane. He's like doing that. No, 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 no. Yep, and then down he goes, and he wasn't able to do anything else for the rest of the game. He started to leave the position and just got shot. He was down to a 1 shot at that point. But it's also important to note that it's not just NA players that have ping issues. This is also being played on the European server, and Russian players don't necessarily have great ping to the EU servers either, because this is like the Western Europe server. This server, I think, is in it's either Germany or it's in Holland. I can't remember. So it's not just this is the server that when like Russian teams and North American teams, in my experience and stuff, like when we would scrim each other for league plays and stuff, we would play on this server, and kind of everyone was like, yeah, it's just if you're West Coast NA, you're in for a bad time. So yeah, 4-1. I did not update all of the score. Let me double check that. We're getting ready to go into the next round on Cliff.
No, I know what happened. Like, he tried to ready up, and then it gave him a whole bunch of like
It grays out.
Sometimes it'll happen. Yeah, it like spammed him. You know how it
yeah, that's what
like,
happened to me even on the observer account, because it was like spamming me, and then it was like, oh, I just need to manually.
It spammed you like 20 times, and
even
then
though you only click the button once.
Yeah. You click the button.
I
once,
now know
and then
exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, because you experienced it, right? It's really rare too. It's not like an everyday thing. Like, it's not like every time you do it. But it's really unfortunate when you're trying to go into a special battle for Clan Wars, and you happen to have, like, for example, you ready up a tank you don't play often, right? Like, I think it happened in like something like a 260 for me, because I don't really play the 260 a lot. And I clicked it, and then all of a sudden it just spammed like, no ammunition 20 times. I couldn't ready up.
Stop yelling at me. I'll put ammo in. Jesus.
It like almost lagged me out. And I have a good piece, so I can't even imagine how Kenway must have destroyed Kenway's. Looks like one versus 3 CS is going up the hill.
Oh, and the 50B dumping his clip, but he's only able to connect. It looked like 2 out of 4 shells, but one of them actually didn't do damage. It just tracked.
Really good bleed.
Yeah,
November also has another shot. He's taking 2 shots. There's 2 CSs in the corner there. Their other CSs decided to go to what is this called? It's like that G something corner. But the thing is,
G2, yeah.
Look at that! They
They're
blind fired those guys out. That guy was not lit. They blind fired him out there.
There is a counterplay at the donut happening, and now the Sember and company are leaving from the middle to go to the donut to reinforce it. And there's just an all-out brawl down here. Skittles and his VZ is, I believe, still clipping. Lazy Cheek is trying to get out in his 50B.
Focusing Lazy Cheek on the 2 line. The 50B is permatracked. He is going to go down here, which is really big, really nice pick.
And now they're semi-ignoring Skittles. Not ignoring, most of the guns are moving on because they know that they have Muscles clip and they have enough DPM to take him down. The rest are going to look for shots on the middle. Owner down to a 1-shot. He will die here in just a moment in his CS. And CRAKD are up HP by about 1,000, but overall it's still pretty close, but gun advantage to CRAKD. CRAKD definitely with the initiative on the northern side of Cliff.
Correct. They're trying to get safe. Everybody's trying to get safe from that Sturv back there. It's doing massive amounts of damage. They had to react against Owner, and they kind of ignored Skittles because their team was going over middle. They were winning middle. He's winning middle. Ox is about to go down here to the Kronwagen. Maybe no, actually, the Kronwagen goes down.
Octo with the 3rd kill in the battle. And the Kronwagen is one of those vehicles I would not want to play with bad ping. That is for sure.
I mean, I live on West Coast. I'm not even an option when it comes to the attorneys like this.
You're a Type 5? HE?
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, I know it only is going to do like 200 damage per shot, but that's more damage than I'm going to average normally when I hit the moon with my Kron.
Like both teams won on Cliff attack.
Yeah, and this was very decisive.
Like I said before, it's very unfortunate that they could have been 3-4. They could have actually come close to tying it up on Cliff because their Cliffs were pretty solid, even the one before that, but they were down a. As you can see, this is what happens when CRAKD readies up 4 Chiefs instead of 3.
Yeah, it was unfortunate because even the last round, I mean, this one, Cliff is always going to be somewhat close in HPs, but I think CRAKD had, he had 3k HP left, CRAKD had 6k. Now, every battle's a little different and the comps are a little different, but yeah, like, that was really close for not having, doing a 14 on 15 at the start.
Correct.
And it's, we can't say exactly what would have happened, but yeah, and also you may say that he would maybe play, like you said, a little more aggressively when they know they have the advantage in guns, because I know I would. And looking at the post-game stats, Fennec almost 4k damage in his Chieftain, staying alive till the bitter, and Muscles dying at the very, very end in his batch chat, but getting out 3k damage in his batch chat, got 2 clips out. Sunrise 3,400, it looks 2,800 for the side of Sihi. I update this, so it is now 2-4 in favor of Sihi, the Russian clan.
But
yeah,
chat, what you have to remember, all the chat, what you guys have to remember is this is best of 15. Yes, you heard that right. Best of 15. So this could go any way. We're only 6 games out of 15 through, potentially 15, right? So that means that even though they're up 2, depending on the map rotation, like this could go any way.
Yeah, it really can. And next map's gonna be Prokhorovka.
Right, and so what is really going to come down to is how are they going to be playing? Prok, how each team is going to be playing Prok. Prok is one of those maps where it's really open, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's really open, but yet you can play so many ways. You can camp in the corner and give up map control for solidification and making sure just like they can't cap, and it forces the other team to just push right through on you. We could see a rails fight where like both teams are trying to take 7-8. We could see one team hard push 1-2. I think the funniest ones are when like the defensive team pushes 1-2 super hard, and then the attacking team goes over the rails 7-8, right? So it's like both teams are like pushing their hardest.
It almost becomes a rock paper scissors where like the games can go
right.
long, but sometimes it's like if both teams choose the same initial type thing that just goes to meet them at a head, then it's like, okay, we've got a fast battle here. It's like both teams chose they wanted to be aggressive on the one line, like something's going to be decided, or both teams went aggressive middle.
Right, exactly. So it's one of those things where Prok games can literally go to 15 minutes, or they can be within the first 3 minutes. You're like, oh well, these are the winner. These are the winners.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when both teams encounter each.
And it is that weird dance like so it's like, oh yeah, the defensive team went aggressive on the tree line and the attacking team went all over the rails. Well, I guess no one's gonna find anyone for a little while. Like just
Right,
have to wait and see. And looking
And now
at
we
the
are going
tanks,
into the next battle.
cracked 1 EBR, 3 VZs. It looks like I'm counting 6 907s, 3 chieftains, and 2 I7s. Sihi bringing 1 E100, 1 leopard, 1 260. I think it's 4 chieftains, a pair of CSs, 4 907s, 2 EBRs. There we go.
Yep. Early in the battle, it looks like we're seeing a heavy 1-2 middle from Crack.
It's kind of what you predicted. It's like one of those standard. It's like it's going to be an aggressive 2-line from the defensive side, Crack this time.
No,
but look at it's the rails for the other side.
Yeah, one of the most interesting picks is literally kind of going what I said. One of the most interesting picks is an E100. Did you see this?
Yeah, I was a little like, Unless I mean, Red Eyes had some good games today, and maybe he was just like, I want the 100.
Wow, look at his angling!
He bounced that shell perfectly. He's just going to be that tank where, I mean, if they push the 2-line, he's just that much more HP, and he bounces another shot. And the 907s are actually converging over to the E line. And it's going to be a brawl on the E6. Look at this. Here they come. Dark Ninjas leading the way.
Oh my goodness. What is this? What is this grass play? They're just going to push into crossfire everywhere. They have crossfire everywhere on the map. I don't...
Gumdrop's dying. They're just, it's a divide, and they're just going to keep going, but they're taking a lot of bleed for their trouble. They need to find picks, and they don't have an answer to the A6 vehicles afterwards. Ox is down to 1 shot. He will die here in just a moment. They've taken so much damage.
Die too.
They have a leopard on the hill, too. Oh, God.
Yeah, the leopard on the hill is... I mean, he's going to be farming and farming and farming and farming.
And Rambo played that Sturv. He plays that position for them. He played the Sturv on Live Oaks and racked up 6k damage. He's not one to miss shots. And now they're going back on over, picking up the kill Verm.
Oh, and it looks like they're going to sweep mid this time.
Towards that E100. They
and
go
this
for
is
Paradise.
What OP likes to do. OP is a very aggressive proc player. He loves to do these crazy middle pushes. I don't know if it's going to work out in their favor because the other guys are going to be coming in and taking map control, and they have to keep on pushing in. They have to push into the 2-line now, and there's 2 EBRs. They only have 1 EBR.
And Muscles may take some damage
I think
here.
like Bit and like December are just going to die here because there's 4 mediums looking at their butt. There's no shot that they win against it with 2100 HP.
Down goes Tojo. JH is also defeated there at the last moment. And yeah, it's just stringing him out further and further. See, he doing a very good job adjusting to the aggressive plays by OP. This is calling it. It had a moment to where it could work too. It doesn't always work. And see here, honestly, one thing I can say is that they're playing very flexible. And they adjust in little micro movements very well. And I don't know if that's particularly calling as much as it is kind of flank calling and flex calls, like 2 or 3 people working in unison in certain positions while lots of other things are moving around.
Right.
Making the most of things where it's like they're going to get picked. These little isolations are going to get picked and they're just going to make the best of it and try to string out Cracked as far as they can.
It was just one of those things where he didn't know where they were weak. If he would have did like a, you know what I mean? He didn't know where they're weak. He didn't know where their tank. I think that because on NA, it's actually really rare for your team to have tanks on every. Did you notice that?
Yeah, and they were aggressive on the rails with like still 3 tanks on the 2.
Tanks everywhere. They had tanks on the 1-2. Usually, if you ever see a couple tanks on the 1-2 from an NA team, it's usually like a Sturv and an EBR or something, right? It's usually, and they're very, very far back, like red line, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's usually like it usually would be like from my experience, would be like 1 or 2 stirps, right, behind an EBR. But they didn't have that. They actually had, like, Chiefs stuff on the 2 line. So I think what happened there was he thought that he was gonna be pushing to, like, you know,
And Rambo
most of
being
their
on the
team.
hill too, like that's just an extra curve. I
Right.
mean, it is a leopard. You could assume it's there, but like with every position they were taking, I agree with you. It's not necessarily unheard of to be like, well, they wouldn't send someone to the hill to defend against a push over here if they're playing aggressively on the 6 and on the 8 and on the 2 line and mid. Like, yeah, it's like they just didn't find the isolation quick enough, I suppose, and
Mhm.
it still was somewhat close, but I have to give it to Sihi. They had very, very good, very quick reactions to what they could
Yeah,
see coming.
it was a very aggressive attack by, I mean, defense by, um, OP,
Yeah,
Crack.
I'm just updating the scoreline. It should be
I think
five
maybe they
to
were trying
two.
to, because most people play Proc Ds kinda slower. I think
Mm-hmm.
maybe he was just trying to overwhelm them. But they had really good crossfire. They had really good initials.
One, I like that the way
I
these
think
teams
that
play against each other. Like I think this
yeah.
is what's great is teams get only better when they kind of have this. And in NA, there aren't a lot of teams playing at this kind of caliber, or at least not a whole bunch of them. And getting
Mhm.
the exposure to be able to play against this more regularly only can make uh, different regions a little bit stronger. It's good exposure for the regions to play against each other. And some of the regions play very differently. Russia plays very fast typically, but sometimes there's derpy strats that come out of APAC region that that can catch people off guard too. I love
Mhm.
seeing these cross regional matches.
Yeah, yeah, they're really cool. Um, you probably have participated in some back in the day. I know I have, but it's
Mm-hmm.
been a while.
And now 5-2, Sihi up. Cracked need to step up their game a little bit. They're
Their
not
first
playing
thing to 8
poorly.
wins, for those of you kinda confused on that. Um, so Sihi is, uh, I guess over a little over halfway there now.
Yep. They need to get to its best 15, so they need first to 8 wins. They need 3 more wins in order to close it out. Crack needs 6. So they're down quite a bit as we go to the second round on Prokhorovka. Seeing the tanks being brought. Cracked, mixing it up a little. Double EBR, double Sturv, 1 CS, 7 Chieftains, 1279 double I7 Sihi. Red Eye says E100 works, and he's bringing it again on the northern side this time. Double 279 E, 1 mana core, 4 907s, 1 Sturf, 2 EBRs, and like 4 Chieftains, I think.
Mm.
So Rambo this time in an EBR, he was the person that was playing the Sturv and the Leopard, for example. So showing like, hey, he
Right.
can be the kind of sniper guy, the Overwatch position, and also a scout
He's
player.
their all-arounder, I guess.
And double EBR down the 2 line, that's an interesting
They're
initial
looking at
scout.
they're looking to pick Chase here. Oh, Chase getting absolutely
He is
annihilated.
gonna go down here to this shot, right? Oh, and there it comes
Oh
in from
my
Paradise from
goodness.
downtown. Very nicely done. And that is
From
exactly
back
the type of metas that you
here.
see.
Crack.
That reminds me of when the EBRs first came out, and I remember even Maho and some other clans at the time, you saw meta shifts within like Clan Wars campaigns of 2 to 3 EBRs, say going to one spot just to try to pick the enemy EBR at the start, and that's exactly what we saw there. And a really interesting move from Sihi, sending both up the 2 lines so that they weren't lit.
Right.
They were really not counter scouting, they were just, well, they were counter, they were just looking specifically for that type of scout loop and just trying to pick that guy. And just like that, the EBR so fast now is up on the hill and lights Dark Ninja. Oh god, Dark Ninja's at that spot that he was at before in League. Oh god, come on, Dark. He takes a couple shots of damage, but you're safe, you're safe, you're safe. It's good, it's good. You're on the other side. This time, Dark. I'm
Look,
sorry.
he's
I'm
on the other
sorry.
side. Last time he pushed 2 stars. Like, it's okay.
Sorry, Dark. Oh, for anyone that watched the
You're like reminiscing from community. Over here.
it's like I see Dark. It's PTSD, man. I see Dark Ninja at that spot again, and it's just. I'm sorry, dude. You're playing great, dude. You're having a great game. Like, I'm sorry. Dark Ninja's one of the perennial. He's a top player in North America, not just in pubs, but in competitive play in really all formats, Clan Wars formats, tournament formats for years. The only reason we can kind of make fun of him at times is because he does play so well, so consistently.
Oh, and here we go. OP
Push.
again, going over.
Yeah, the double IS-7 leading that spearhead, but now what is the follow-up? Because the Chieftains have pushed in on the 6.
Going down.
Just though November is like positioned itself sideways, but then he's not gonna die, so now they're just gonna
Octo
chill.
is hold down here. They are set up really heavy, like what I was talking about before, which is like they got a really nice 1-2 going on, just chilling in the back. They're actually getting, we're actually getting a lot of bleed though from these 2 Sturves.
Kenway and
that we
Brett
have
are
at
just
F1.
unloading.
I don't know if Solutions is lit. I'm guessing if Solutions was lit, he'd be dead.
Hey, Brett has a
If
Caminet and Binox.
Oh, December might actually light this Manicore. If he does, that'd be insane. Because the Manicore is slowly moving up, trying to light these Sturves. If these Sturves get lit, that's going to be a lot of HP going bye-bye.
Looks
Oh,
like
they
he
actually
lit
backed off. I
one.
think they did get lit.
He lit Kenway as Kenway was running, but Kenway's now gone dark. And Solution's going to take the time to move up a little.
Right? They pushed Dark off.
And Solutions has 2,600 spotting at this point in his Manicore. And they'll counterplay. They're going in for December. Clovers, Andrew, and Skittles, 2907 and 279E, are just going to go in and isolate him and pick him as they knew that CRAKD had backed off.
And that's what's so broken about you know, Proc Ds is like you just push out if you need to, right? If somebody takes goes under you, and then you just retake your middle, and it's just GG's.
The second those Sturfs disengaged, like they didn't have any cover for him really anymore, and they sent the appropriate number. 3 was more than enough, and just got an easy kill, very efficient, and now they're continuing forward. Fox will probably be the next guy. He's down to 1 or 2 shot in the bowl, and yes, Skittles is pushing him. He's down to 75 HP. And see, he heavily in favor in HP, 5,000 plus HP lead. Just a few tanks to isolate and pick now. Attack not going in Crack's favor. And very well done by
Octo's
C.
Here. It's kind of funny how Octo's been there for like the entire game.
Oh yeah, on the 6, he's just hanging out here. If you look at the minimap, this is Octo. Oh, there he goes. Just as I hover my cursor over him, you see like the depth, and his icon just disappears. It's just like like Back to the Future when in the picture, like the brothers like pictures fading by Octo. He was there for a long time though. He's there for like 4 minutes plus.
JH actually picking up that kill.
And 6-2. See, he on a roll here. We finish Prok. They're 2 rounds away from victory. We go into the post-game stats. I remember to ready up. Brett getting out 3k damage in his Sturf. Verm 2,600. Kenway 2,500 in his Sturf. Until Sunrise 4,300 in his Chieftain. Big damage. And look at those 279s. 2 kills apiece, 3,700 from Skittles and Owner. And Rambo in the EBR, 3,300 damage and 2 kills. Rambo's playing out of his mind.
That was really interesting too. Is like, I don't, like, we only brought 1 279. Well, NA only brought 1 279, correct?
Yes.
And they brought 2. Those 2 just did work.
They really did. They were, I think, both anchoring the 2 line, and then Skittles, I think, led the charge of the double 907.
And then just pushed on to December when they got tired of him being there. because they wanted room for their mana core to work.
Right. Let me update this score sheet as well. So 6-2. Let me see what the next map is going to be. It is Murovanka. Interesting. So Murovanka in small format, I tend to like a little bit more than Murovanka in Clan Wars format. Clan Wars format Murovanka is a little more, and the north, like the sides are inverted compared to attack defense. The north should be the defensive side, as far as I remember, and the south should be the attacking side.
Well, CRAKD is always on defense, so we'll know which sides.
I just have remember, it's like the PTSD. Like I have the memories of, oh god, do we push one line and 3 line, or do we push 0 line?
I do be having goldfish memories.
Oh, dude, it's more like, do you remember those campaigns where it's like, oh, and Murovanka, and it's like, oh god, we have to push into that turtle where the flex group is at a 5-6 of 907s, and they just go either way. You have the heavies on the one. It is hard. It is, in my opinion, much harder to push south to north than it is north to south on this map. It's so, that one line is a death trap, I swear. The northern one line, you know that corner? God, there's so many little divots for like just different layers of defense there. And I don't know. The only times I've ever won pushing that is when I know the enemy has like made some bad mistakes. It's like, well, they missed a lot, right? Like, it's like things have to go in your favor for it to work.
True.
Well, let's see. We're going in, Smiley. Tanks being brought. We got 3 EBRs for CRAKD, 2 907s, 1 2790, 1 IS7, and then a bunch of chieftains. What are Sihi bringing?
Sihi are bringing. They got 3 260s, 2 2790. It's like 6 chiefs, a CS, and 3 EBR 105s.
So, are the 260s being used that often on NA? Did the field mods help them in some ways in certain maps, or is it just preference?
It might be just preference. I think chieftains are just so versatile that we just don't look at some. Well, I mean, I've seen 2 used, but
it almost looks like the.
I think it's more of a meta thing.
Yeah.
The Russians like Russian things. I don't know. Like, I don't know what else to. December just literally just losing all his HP.
Yeah.
And not only December, but the other.
Oh.
December actually ramming Flounder to make sure he loses even more HP.
So
Chase
2 of the 3 260s have speed governors on.
Really?
I think it may be a situation where they're using them like pocket 907s almost, a little bit more HP, because you can see even where they're positioned. They're positioned at H3, and down goes Solutions. I missed that while I was looking at all of this stuff. It is that like they can be used to kind of just be fast enough to get there, but chieftains can't really have that loadout.
Right.
That's the only thing I'm thinking of, but you know, in the end, it's like
chieftains can't run. Chieftains don't have a speed govern option.
Right. It's only Russians that can run that. Unless there's like some real specific reason on a particular map to get somewhere fast enough.
Big 2-line act. Getting some really big bleed on the CRAKD. And it looks like they're gonna push in.
Yeah, the 260s are leading the way.
Oh crap, they're just going to the corner.
It's gonna be a brawl right here and now.
Fishy and like a couple of the guys were turned around. They weren't even looking the right way.
Oh my goodness, they caught him at the wrong time for CRAKD. And yeah, Gumdrop out here on the side, I'm calling him Gumdrop, is out there at the house presenting that crossfire. Kenway trying to shield OP and JH, but this is HP in Sihi's favor, and they're just going to keep, they don't care about the shields. They're just going to start killing guns, removing the Moner on the top side. He will get the kill on OP in just a moment. Oh, nope. Someone else has called him off, and they will get him here in a moment. And yeah, there is a fight going on in the forest, but
pushing through like he owns. I guess that's why his name is Owner.
So just catching CRAKD right at the wrong moment for them, but at the same time, I mean, Sihi saw it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, see, it looks like Sihi just like realized they were gonna lose Forest, and then we're just like, we're pushing the 2-3 line.
And there were just enough isolations there. If there was only like one tank there, that could have been okay because it would have had just much more punish available and not. But when you start losing 3 guns for it,
Chiefs, but I don't think it's really helping much.
Cracked are up HP though, and this 2-line push is floundering a bit as they need to get Verm. He's been out here for a long time, and more punish. Lazy Chi goes down to Fishy.
Hey!
And now they have a wreck there. Oh, and down goes Vermilion finally.
He's getting the. He got Rambo 1 shot, and Dark most likely will pick up this EBR kill if he can. Looks like he's going over, and he's still sitting still. A perfect opportunity to kill an EBR. An EBR not moving? Shoot.
So Crack just have the HP advantage. You can see External has 3k out here.
Such a good spot. He just needs to just calm down, focus on these. Well, I don't know. Dark ever not calm, but he just needs to focus on getting these 1-shots out.
Yeah, it's Sihi are on the back foot and Cracked are up HP. They're down, I think, 1 gun, maybe 2, but they have superior positions right now, and they have the enemy contained. As long as they have them contained, they should be fine. Ox does go down, but I thought this was much more in favor of Sihi, but the crossfire.
Looks like until Sunrise is gonna push in on Dark. Dark needs to start bleeding him as he comes across. Because I think the CS is also gonna come in, so he's gonna be a 2v1. Oh, he gets hit hard from afar. There's no one here to help Dark, unfortunately.
They are overreacting because you can see that 7 line.
2v1.
Cracked are trying to rotate some guns to help out. Dark trades again. He's just trying to get as much damage out and live as long as he possibly can. If he can remove a gun, that would be fantastic. And he bounces a shot from the CS. Very nice.
The problem here is he can, like, oh, nice! The EBR actually gets a shot off. And Dark is able to actually pick up the CS.
Sunrise has to go for the kill now. He knows he does. And actually, Tojo gets it from the 4 line. And now HP 6k to 3600.
They just have so many tanks left, so many 1-shots.
And the other thing that's important is the EBR's alive.
External's sitting on full HP, like, yo, how'd you guys lose all your HP? What's up?
Muscle's actually running down Unlucky right now. Unlucky is the only EBR left for Sihi, while Muscles has 1k HP, and I think it's December's and the other EBRs at a 1-shot.
After driving like that. Oh my god, getting lucky though.
Became
he hit
unpredictable.
The red line and everybody was leading him.
It's called being unpredictable, Smiley.
Okay, yeah.
you have to, you know, I meant to do it, it's fine. I'm really good at this. It wasn't ping at all, and now Muscle's disengaging.
Knowing Muscle, he was like, "That was playing."
I know what I'm doing. Now he's driving. Like, and now I'm driving back to the forest.
Going to lead me, so I, in order to slow down, you know, at a quick pace, I drove into the red line on purpose. And you're like, oh. He's really good at making like bad plays seem good. Yeah. He's like, it was not a mistake, actually.
Dude, when I did that on the EBR and stuff, I would be like, oh yeah. I feel like, yeah, I meant to. It feels really good to be like, yeah, I was like 200 IQ, but
they're blinding Bush's cap. I think they thought they might think that the other EBR is there, but he's actually D7. Sneaky boy, December. Unfortunately, December would be at like 110 HP, but he actually rammed into Flounder earlier in the game trying to escape.
When he tried to run the
not getting killed. I know. Well, he tried to stay alive. He actually lost some HP. Really interesting loadout. Optics, vents, vents, TVS.
Yeah, vents.
So it looks like he's going.
He also apparently blocked 390 damage. That was important. It must have been an EBR shell.
He blocked 780 for me on mine.
Oh, you know what? Mine's just bugged.
Mine might be bugged. How does he have 3,300 HP or 3,300 damage? I mean, he's cracked out of his mind. If he got
all of mine are showing as the same person. It bugs out sometimes. Sorry. And yeah, it's just a stalemate right now. It's a stalemate right now. I mean,
oh no, it's showing like wait. Oh, mine's bugged out. Showing everybody as the same. Blocked.
So what is Sihi's planned here? Because now they're starting to rotate north. It's going to have to be an A line because that's the only thing I can see them doing with their rotations. But they have more guns. But so many one shots or two shots. And they're just realizing, well, we've talked about it. This is really the only play we feel like we have, and we just have to go for it and hope that it works well. And the blinds on the bushes too. It's like, yeah, they know that December was a one shot, so if they just get that pick, that's so massive. Flounder with 1600 HP and in a hold down with the bush should be able to receive this push very well as long as he pens his shot and someone from the forest pens theirs. Second, a couple of guns from Sihi are gone. It should be okay.
December was actually lighting that. It almost looks like.
And 2 minutes remain, and you can see that even they are grouping up in the north, even from CRAKD, because they kind of know that the push has to come from the north with this much time left.
Flexing. With a minute,
they know Flounder has the HP, and they just have to keep this gun alive, because this is where they have to push if they want to win the game. And damage going in, Flounder getting a second shot in a moment, and down goes Cloverfield. Flounder getting the track shot on the 279 as he continues to back up. They just give ground and ground, and Cap actually starts with the EBR.
Probably the remaining tanks are going to blind fire the Cap. They're looking to pick the 260. They're getting 3 on Cap. One's down. Now it's 2 on Cap.
I wonder if they made a potential
to push
wall.
In. He's like, I need to kill this 279. True. He does need to kill this 279. He gets on his side. Gets a low roll. 4-5.
They've actually made a pseudo cap wall for until sunrise, but they should have enough HP here to be able to come in.
It doesn't matter. Muscles is literally just going to yellow their EBR probably. He can yellow scout light that guy.
And
wait, the EBR is shot. He might be lit.
He should be lit now.
Oh nope. Now they just have to play pass. They don't have enough time.
And the little wheelie over the wreck does take him off the cap.
Yeah, and while this was going on, external was just kind of pushing out the screen and city.
Yeah, and I think he may have been taking some shots at the cap as well. Just being a 279, doing 279 things.
We were trying to keep it because they were trying to pressure it really hard, so they hard. Looks like CRAKD
CRAKD will win this. This was a very close game overall. I thought he had the advantage, but that 2-line push just kind of took a little too long. It started off really well. It just didn't quite. It just that B1 position tank. I forgot who it was, and then Dark Ninja at A3. Those two positions are so powerful. It's what I was talking about before the start of that battle. It just takes so much time to dig those guns out. But well done. And even by Sihi at the end there, kind of knowing that they're at a disadvantage, but rolling the dice, is talking about it, slowing it down, and making kind of the best option that they could to just see if they could get a win out of it. Post-game stats, Dark in that position, 5,300 damage. Oh, is Verm, I think, in the other position. They're the two top damages. And Verm, 453 friendly damage. Ilux, 5,400 in the CS. My God, he was farming. Owner, 4,500 in his Chieftain, 3,700 from Sunrise. So it'll be 6-3.
6-3.
Should be going to the second round of Murovanka. This time, CRAKD will be on the attacking side in the south. Sihi will be on the northern side defense. And Murovanka is a very difficult map to attack. It really is. So this is no insult to Sihi, because now they get the option to defend, and CRAKD is going to have to kind of be able to break potentially a turtle. But Sihi have not really shown a propensity to really turtle. They may take a side that they want, like that first ENSK game on their second ENSK game. Their defense, they were like, we're taking the rail side or the field side, and we're just gonna hold.
So far, their most turtle match was their proc defense. And even then, they pushed out at the end, but they actually needed to though, because the Sturbs were farming.
It was like the reaction push. It was okay. Now we have the isolations. Let's take it. I forgot to tab over.
Their most passive, I would say. I can't quite remember the live Alex. Kind of just woke up because it's like 11:30 for me.
And it's about 2:30 for me. Yeah, you're on West Coast. I'm on East Coast. But yeah, we have potentially several more maps. I'm not sure what the next map is after this round. We will find out here in just a moment.
Isn't it? That was the first Murrow.
That was first Murrow, yeah. I just don't know what the
Right.
map is after this. We have not seen
Himmel?
Himmelsdorf yet, and that's always
It's Himmel.
always
It's
comes up.
Himmels and Sand River.
Oh, I never saw the map list for the pick bands.
That's unfortunate for you. I asked the caller from Crack.
Okay. Here we go into the next game. As I try to pull this up. Whoops. Sorry about that. Here we go. We've got the tanks right here. Correct. Bringing double EBR, double 279E, one IS-7, and a bunch of chieftains. CE, 12790, one Sturv, two EBRs, 907 CS, and a bunch of chieftains.
Which EBR are you gonna watch?
Ooh, okay. I'm going to watch December.
Okay, I will watch enemy team. I will watch Z Cheek.
Lazy
Ooh,
cheek.
I think our EBRs are gonna fight each other. My EBR is better than EBR. My EBR's
Come on,
dad
December.
can
He's
beat
right
your
there. He's
EBR's
right there.
dad.
December, you're coming in. Come on. No, turn your turret.
Yeah, that's right, Lazy. Take your time. Oh no.
He
Watch out.
misses. Come on. Come on, December. Okay, well, this isn't fair because there's a lot of backup for Lazy Cheek as December casually.
Hope harder.
Oh, December, please. December, please. Please, no. It's down to 800 health as he's getting shot at. He's still not quite safe. He has to tuck into the right now. Go, 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 go. I think he's gone dark.
Uh-oh. Mine's getting aggro against your EBR.
Don't.
Taking a little bit more land.
Flounder, protect him. Flounder in the I-7 in that window. Really difficult position to dig out.
Correct.
Especially with the arty changes.
Lazy
No
getting
real
lit,
arty.
but actually juking.
You can see here some of the shot angles for this I-7 as he looks to poke out.
Taking a shot in the muscles. The other, what was the other EB? Solutions is taking a lot of fire. Actually, might
He's
go
down
down
to one
here.
shot.
Mm-hmm.
The
It
two
looks
line
like
getting
Octo's
pushed out.
literally going for it. Oh, 2 shots out. Both miss.
I
Octo's
missed a
getting-
Super Conqueror in that list of tanks. My god. There's a Super Conqueror here. It's a relic of the past.
Unlucky is the Super
I
Conqueror's name.
thought you were saying unlucky. Like, oh, unlucky. The player's name is Unlucky.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, god.
Wow, that timing.
Unlucky. Unlucky taking many shots.
Of damage, correct. Getting unlucky.
Stop it. It's coming. And Lox is down in that cubby that we saw Dark playing in last time, but he's in the CS and he's down to one shot. He will die here in just a moment. And there isn't really much of a response from Sihi this round. They don't seem to... They started to take forth, but there's a lot of tanks here defending. Out in the water, November, down at that rock, and the Sihi just looked kind of stopped in their tracks, and they're on defense,
Correct.
but they've lost a gun, and they'll lose the Super Conqueror soon.
Dude, look at how aggro, like Chase and Ox are literally gonna pick Lucky here.
I've seen
They're
this
trying
position
to get
before.
some counter.
Yeah, they just try to live as long as they can, but he should die here momentarily, and yeah, the shots are coming in from the middle as well. And actually, if people retreat back to B1, that's one of the positions you can go to actually pick this if you really can't find the angle, if you don't have enough middle control, but CRAKD have the whole map right now. But they are on attack, so like eventually they are going to have to push out even further. They're still going to have the same problems that Sihi had last game, but the HPs are about even. And down goes Muscles in the EVR. That's actually a big deal because he didn't really have to be there right then. Let's see, Solutions is in a bush, trying to give some eyes. So So yeah, it's about even. Slight advantage to Sihi. They are down a gun though. But yeah, now you're in that awkward spot of, okay, we have to figure out how we're gonna push. And to be honest, the easiest push is what I think that CRAKD are actually kind of mobilizing to do, is it's got to be a forced push. Pushing the A line is so scary. So it's got to be a forced push or some kind of like a zero line push or some kind of, you know, zero line push with city pressure at the same time.
Right.
And they have the guns to do it. Mm-hmm.
Do we so if we're spectating do we hear their pings?
I do not believe so. I don't
Really?
hear any
'Cause I
pings.
hear a lot of pings.
I have not heard any pings, I don't think.
Really?
I don't think so. Unless maybe my settings I adjusted and I don't actually hear.
Yeah, it might be like a glitch then.
Wouldn't it be like an interface one or a?
I think it would be.
It's not ambiance. Maybe mine's just set to be so low that I don't hear it.
I mean, my settings are literally like...
Now that I'm listening, I can hear it. It's very quiet. Oh
yeah,
my god,
it's so
I have it turned down so low. I just heard a little ha ha, like cluck cluck. I don't know how to make the sound.
It's definitely like I definitely team ping. It's not a big deal. It's just like I was just like,
ping,
wow,
ping,
because
ping,
I'm on the
ping,
RU side, you're on the NA side, and I'm hearing a lot of ping. Yeah, they're like definitely like pinging.
The CRAKD getting up in HP there. Just a little bit of bleed, and you can see Flounder.
They're setting up for. I mean, they're setting up for a 9-line push, but they're ready to receive it. So I mean, December coming in for a run.
They're pushing now. Here they go. The Chieftains are moving forward. Oxen, the 279, is going to spearhead the push, taking the first volley as Verm goes past. Paradise down to 39 HP. He will go down here first.
Really nice play too. Did you notice how he like turned him sideways so people could pen him easier?
Look at that.
I don't know if that was intentional or not.
Just pivot. Just spun him out. More ground being given by CE. HP about 2k still in advantage of CRAKD as they get to the next layer of the defense.
That they don't. Oh, they are moving 2 chieftains to C0. That is a very good spot because once this push starts, they're gonna come in and those guys are gonna be able to get so much damage. It looks like December is slowly trying to move his way up to pick one of their EBRs.
And Brett actually moving over to the 7 line with November.
To be really careful.
They know that crossfire's there, and it looks like they don't want to push down on the 0 line.
I think he lit Lazy Cheek, unless somebody was blind firing that, but I don't think
Lazy Cheek's dead.
I don't think people would be blind firing at this point, so he definitely got lit. So now all that's left is solutions.
Chase now coming around on the side, looking for shots. They haven't quite committed to the push yet, but it looks like they're getting ready to. CRAKD just have a big advantage. They just need to keep the status quo, and they have this game in the bag. They just end up so much with positions and got those few picks on the 3 line at the beginning, and that's all it took, and here it is.
Hey, there's the big push. They're focusing fire. So many tanks on top of each other. So many cheap. Looks like Flux might go down next. Everybody getting shots into making sure that he goes down, and now you have Chase on the butt of Clover, pushing him towards November. Everybody getting their shots off. Looks like November's trying to simp for Skip. Hopefully,
trying to give a little
get
shield.
it away with it. Little
Trying
shielding.
to keep the gun alive.
Little team,
Very nice.
Little team gameplay. Nice. Actually able to keep him alive there.
And the HP's actually, I mean, it's really close overall, but most of the HP's on 2 guns for Sihi at this point, and this is kind of the inverse. They actually
ended up picking up, so December actually did a really hard run, and they traded EBRs.
Oh. So that they didn't have to worry about the EBR.
But that's actually good for them because they're attacking team. Like, I feel like the defending team, you know, needs EBRs more than the attacking. You know what I mean? Especially with this much HP up.
And this much at the end of the game where the EBR can run away.
Correct.
Because there's only a minute and a half, and they have to pick this Sturv and this Chieftain, and they don't have that much time.
Flounder's actually going really, really wide, making sure that the Sturv isn't running.
Smart
and then they're all
play.
pushing this last guy right here.
Because they have to be a little careful. They don't want to lose a gun. So it'll be JH will just lead the charge here, and even if he gets double tapped, it's fine.
I think Chase is actually trying to bait Sturv to see if he's still there, because if he's still there,
Very
Wow,
nicely
look at
done,
all that.
all that
That was
volley, because
really
Red Eye's
crazy
holding
how
his shot to try to
that
get a kill
that
shot.
man HP just on with that one poke. That was a really good poke by all those
And that's just the
boyos.
math thing that starts happening once you're up guns. And this is the first time in a while that I feel like CRAKD has had that advantage in the round, because it's typically Sihi that's had that
That up
advantage.
guns maybe HP even advantage. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was really prevalent on the what was it, second Live Oaks game? Where
Yes.
even though the HP is like the same, having like 4 tanks, because at the end of the day, right? There, if you have 4 extra tanks and they're all one shots, that's still four extra tanks that are target, right?
Right.
Especially if you get that nice fire. So even though the guy has 1700 HP, it doesn't matter because 6 one shot shot him at the same time, right? So
Post game stats: JH 4600, Dark Ninja 4400, Storm 3500, Verm 3500. Rambo, though, last one alive, but 5k damage to Surf. He's just been a top performer all day long. Skittles 4k, Cloverfield 3500, Flux 3k. Just very well done. We got 2 minutes. We're going into, yeah, you said it, Himmelsdorf.
himmy.
So, CRAKD picking up 2 in a row on Murovanka.
Correct.
They
2
needed
in a row
that.
on Muro. They do. They did. I'm telling you, man. This would be a lot closer than people think. Because CRAKD was down 1 on defense for Cliff, and the Cliff game ended with only 3100 and like 42 damage in favor of Sihi. And they were down 1 tank because people like I don't know something happened with reading up.
Yep.
So I think this probably could have been like a 5-5 right now.
It could have been.
Could have been a 5-5, but it's not because things happen.
And you know what?
But it's a 4-6.
We're on
And
a
this is
city
best of
map
15.
again, though, and Sihi
We are.
were mostly
Yeah.
looking pretty dominant on ENSK overall. They were able to pull out an ENSK
I think that's
attack
more
win.
of a I think that's more of a meta practice thing though. Because even like yeah, because I know I'm guessing they just play it so much more than NA team. Like I know for a fact that Himmels is played a lot on NA in comparison to and
Right. That's true. So we'll have to see here if CRAKD can pull out this one.
but you're not wrong. I mean, the way that they played their how would you say this? The way that they played their ENSK was insane. Because at one point, I think it was like the first battle of the day, it looked like CRAKD was actually gonna win. I was trying to figure out how to make the mini map bigger and how to switch the teams, right? Because my stuff was scuffed. But they had an advantage, but then it was really there was so many like weird 1v1s in that first ENSK, right? And they were up like 4K, and then they just turned it around and then won the other ENSK, and then what was the second map we saw? It was Live
Second
Oaks,
map,
right?
I think, was Live Oaks, yeah.
Yeah, and then that was really interesting. But we are going in the first of 2 Himmies.
2 Himmelsdorf, best of 15. It's 6-4 still in favor of Sihi of RU. The CIS region. CRAKD bringing it back to 4. And on Himmelsdorf, they will bring on the defensive side 1E4, 1 CS, 5 279Es, and then the rest are Chieftain Sihi. Double 50B, double CS, 1E4, 2 279Es, and then I think 8 Chieftains. Whew. Sometimes it's hard to spit it out in time, man.
You did it in 30 seconds. You're insane.
Beating my time. Yeah, there are some glitches depending on whether people installed the correct version of some of the mods, guys, to see everyone's loadout. Not everyone has done it correctly, so apologies about that. So some of it won't be correct, but you can see here I'm looking at JH on CRAKD, and his is correct. You can see he's running turbo, rammer. He's running 30 heats. You can see 5 APs. You know, all that's correct, but if I go to some of the others, it won't.
And he did his incorrect, so all I can say is his turbo rammer and purple config.
Let's add him to the list.
I don't know what else he has. I don't know what he has. I don't know. It looks like he has no ammo. He's just there to be. Oh, and then I come back, and then it shows 5 AP 32
It's push time.
He's gonna catch actually. So this is actually really interesting. So Chase is actually catching their flex down. There's a whole bunch 250Bs going down. 2 chieftains. Chieftains are slowing down here, maybe looking to get shots.
Andrew's going down in the cubby in the courtyard. It's an immediate aggressive 3-line from CRAKD. They are all here, and they're going to be met by the majority of CE, but external going into the train yard with Fishy and Flounder. Fishy will take 1 trailing shot of damage, and they go up and over. They will be able to pick this chieftain, so they don't have to deal with it.
Owner here. Owner it's not looking good for him. 3v1. They isolated him and made sure to push him in there so that the chieftains can get nice side shots.
Chase is going to be the next isolation. They just have to protect him. He'll probably into the courtyard a little bit. And yeah, lots of good volley and focus for Sihi and CRAKD. HP ping dead even at this point.
Chase actually getting pretty safe though, I think. Like they were looking to pick him, but he actually got into a really good spot because now they have to come around, and the 2 chieftains on the D lane actually can support him.
This traffic
and
jam
including
here.
the one in the on the ramp. Sorry, on the 6th line. Words are hard sometimes.
Oh, I know. It jumbles in my mouth too. And the only plays that they have are the CSs on the hill have to make a play.
Look at
maybe
that
in the south.
You see how much damage he took crossing there, Clover, crossing into.
Oh, I missed it. Yeah, just
he
from the
literally
E4.
HP, and then he went down to 1200. Like it was insane. Like
and he does not want to cross
they're
again.
ready for that. Yeah,
and now he's
ready
trading
for
with
that.
Chase, and
yeah, and now he's trading with Chase. Most likely, what's gonna happen is this chieftain on the ramp. I don't know exactly who that is. Is it Kenway? Will my name switch? We can click onto him.
It
Most
is Kenway. You knew it was gonna be Kenway. I knew it was gonna be Kenway. I just clicked to Kenway, and I was like, I know it's gonna be it.
Actually, so Kenway is most likely. He's looking down the 5 line to see if they flex out. But eventually, what'll probably happen is Kenway's probably gonna switch to the 8 and actually take out Clover with the help of Chase, because Chase is kind of losing that right now. And it looks like right now, because this is a very slow-paced match, they're really clumped up in A4. So this is actually really important for CRAKD. So that's why I kind of anticipated this being the move. And also, he's actually going to have help with the CS. And it looks like they are going
Smiley call, if I've ever seen one, predicting the future. Knows exactly what his boy Kenway is going to do before Kenway even knows it. And Kenway's like, wait, I'm hearing Smiley. He's telling me I need to flex up. We're on a 10-minute delay, guys. But
we are. So I literally do not know how that works. But it was just, I just looked at it and I was like, I'm not really good when it comes to overall clan wars, but I can tell when a man is going to pick somebody else. You know what I mean? I can tell when a tank needs to be picked, and that is who needed to be picked. Going back onto Chase, Chase is just keeping this guy permad. Their 8 line is pretty weak, and the really interesting thing is they are stuck in that corner, by the way. All those tanks are kind of stuck in A4. But what we have seen, we've seen 10 matches from these 2 teams. I will say that Sihi has a insane repush. Like, if they have a good amount of tanks bundled up like that, like we see in A4, they have had some insane repush potential where they will take like that clumped up tanks and they will push into some other tanks, and they just win them.
Yeah.
So
we saw it on Prok, we saw it on ENSK. Like, they just had a lot of little interplay between the players. And do you think that just comes from the players themselves, or do you think it's like they just play a bunch of not just clan wars but strong, all these type of events, like it's like every day, it's like it's Tuesday, it's time to play with the boys, right? And like they just are in sync so well?
Correct.
Because I feel like you can see it's like they platoon a lot, they do a lot of things together, just generally overall in the game, because that's where you kind of see a lot of the second nature play.
Another thing is, right now, CRAKD has 1 through 6 line. So what Sihi did is they took Hill really aggressive to try to see if they can get some shots off. And speaking of shots, Eox actually was getting shots on Brett as he flexed out there. And they're actually getting shots on November at base. Shooting down at a 279E is actually really nice, because chieftains can just pen that.
They just did a little interplay. Red Eye was able to get out. Paradise ate the shots in his 279E at A4 so that Red Eye could actually get out unscathed. But now he's taking shots from the boy Kenway across the way, and he's like, okay, I took the shot. He was trying to bait the shot, and then he took the shot at damage. He's like, I've got to go now.
What's happening here is he is trying to get enough tanks, because they are actually going to push into base. Kenway taking so much damage here.
Oh, he backed off on the
He literally just
5.
took like a volley and 1,400 damage. Here they go.
From
They're
the
going to take that K
G9.
line.
Lazy Cheek and Flux leading the way with the Chieftain 50B on the K, but a lot
so
of
what
guns
you're
from
gonna see
CRAKD are
here-
returning.
So the problem with CRAKD is they have to return, but they also have to make sure that not too many return because there's going to be that push out eventually. They don't want to have tanks behind them. So what's going to happen is they're going to pick Chase. Chase is going to be picked here soon, and then they're going to do a really hard K line. They're just looking at probably to take the G lane. If you take the G lane here, where like Brett, it becomes really easy to kind of control this whole area once you kind of take here. And they can't really do anything to counter it
Chase
because
goes down.
now CRAKD can't put people here. CRAKD can't put people there now because they own the hill. They have, and as you can see, Chase is going down here.
It took him a long
CF getting
time.
some really nice shots.
Took him a long time to make that play, but
Right.
they kind of found the little opening they needed to. They just had to get
They're
their
being
guns
really
off the
methodical.
hill.
I mean, what C is basically doing is canceling out the 3 line. Muscle's looking here to get a nice shot on the Chief. He does, and he actually doesn't take any bleed for it, which is really good.
Really going down to 500 HP. Brett will die here most likely really soon. He's just trying to stay alive as long as possible. He can get a cheeky shot in on the Chieftain. He will take it, but he, I think, just gets a 0 damage track there. He's just trying to stay alive.
Great.
Because he has to be careful, because now Paradise is coming down the 5 line, and Paradise will start getting an angle on the windows. And Brett does go down. He knows that the 279 is coming, so he opts to just go for the shot of damage to make sure the gun
has to go
dies.
forward because he's getting clipped by a chief. I mean, 50B clipped by a chieftain. Ooh, no.
HP is so HP is so even, and only 2 guns have been eliminated from CRAKD, and only 4 from Sihi. So
But this is how really interesting. This is why a lot of really good clans love Himmels, because CRAKD had a very early initial where they had the advantage, but actually C is taking map control back. December looking to be the next pick here.
And actually, with 2 minutes remaining, CRAKD is kind of pushing in on the H a little bit, but that's because Sihi has all their guns here, and they don't have that much time left. You can see the play in the courtyard. December goes down on the 3, but Sihi are running out of time. They have to kill a bunch of guns with not a minute and a half remaining. I mean, they're gonna have to go get Dark Ninja out on the 1 line when everything's said and done. Like, they have a lot of things they have to deal with, and one thing that they need to not worry about is the tanks on the hill too much. They need to make sure that when the 279s push in on the D, they need to make sure their shots count. And yeah, I mean, what can you do if you're C? You have to push, but you're just gonna be funneled. This road here is so narrow. It looks like a good pushing lane, but it becomes so narrow with the berms at H5. It turns into just a big traffic jam. And here they go.
Here is the push. 55 seconds. That's why they put the 2 most HP tanks here, kind of buy as much time as possible. This man is probably going to go down. Goes down by J8.
Gumdrop is
And now they're
dead.
going to focus one of the 50B. Looks like Lazy Cheek is going to be the focus here. JH is going to take him out. And now Skittles is going to be the next one. They put 3 on cap. They need to get these resets, so that's why those chieftains are pushing in really hard.
And trying to clog it up as best they can. They do get
And
the
it
reset
looks
on
like
Flux.
Muscle is able to get the reset off.
Oh, here
Ox
comes
is
Ox.
coming in with
Ox will
1,700. They
get
are
it.
not going to be able to cap this out.
Rambo
he
is
shoots
reset.
the guy in the back because he has all the cap points.
Oh, I remember this spot, Ox. Yeah, I remember that you could knock down the tree and you could actually sit up here and actually spot the K line. It was really bad, but it was fun. And now, see, he down to 500
Apparently it
HP.
exists now again because you know, no soap rocks.
Yep, exactly. The only problem it has is, you know, okay, I spotted him. Okay, now I have to leave. Uh-oh.
Right. Look how many. So it's kind of like look how many one shots they have. It's like a little.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful. And Sihi's lineup looked really similar for a lot of the fight
Right.
too.
Holy.
That's
moly.
exactly why Himmelsdorf tends to be one of the better, and you can rewatch this over and over from different players' perspectives, and it'll show you. Smiley said it earlier. Why good clans and stuff like Himmelsdorf is that not each battle will go the exact same, and you'll see a lot of that, and it just comes out to skill, calling, and just interplay between the teams.
Correct. Yeah. And so, like I said earlier, that game was really interesting because you saw CRAKD play really aggressive, and it worked really in their favor. They got a lot of interpick, right? And then what happened was Sihi actually, because the thing is, especially when you're the first team on Himmelsdorf to push out like that, you either push and completely roll the enemy team. That was not possible here. So what they had to do is they had to slow down. When you slow down and you have that much map control and don't have the map control when it comes to the hill, what'll happen is the enemy team most likely can take hill from, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so then you just had very methodical, slow it down and take hill. And I mean, they tried their best, but they did not end up coming out. As you can see with the damage, Muscles did 4,500 in the E4. Rambo did 4,300 in the CS. They're one of their top. I'm guessing he's one of their top players.
He
I
strikes
don't
me as
really. I'm not.
like a Brett type player, except he plays a little bit more versatile. Not that Brett can't play other tanks, but Rambo's like, dude, he's playing everything, and
We've seen him in a
it's
Sturv,
not just the
we've seen him in an
Overwatch.
EVR, we've seen him in, I think we even saw him in a 279E on ENSK or something, right?
Sturv, Leopard, like he's like,
Like every tank except I think we have not seen him in.
yeah, I don't think we've seen him in a 279. I think you're correct.
But the chief, but yeah. Wait, did we not see him in 279?
Maybe
I could have sworn. Was he in E3 or something? It was on ENSK. Everybody was in 279E.
Yeah, everyone was in a 279E or an E3.
Yeah, it was either 279E or like 260 chief. That man was in one of those. Kenway doing 3,600 in that window there, as you saw, and he actually ended up living even after taking that
he did
huge volley.
And they were just set up ready for that shot at that little ledge on the southern
This is
part
one
of
of
the
those
hill.
things where like a lot of you are probably like, well, like I guess I've played Himmel so much that I kind of knew what was going on. You know what I mean? It's one of the maps where me and Germ are really comfortable, small format and large. So that's kind of why I was kind of able to kind of see like, to see he was going to kill and all that stuff. Whereas like some of these maps like ENSK, I have no idea what's going on.
Dark Ninja just scared me. There's about 12 seconds left and he readied down. So, oh, he's readying down again. Oh god, there's 8 seconds. He's readying up. 6 seconds.
And it's 5-6, right?
It is 5-6 in favor of Sihi. So I think CRAKD have won 3 in a row, which they needed because Sihi were on a roll before that as well. And the game was, although it was in favor of CRAKD, it was again like Smiley said when you look at the HP sharing and stuff. It was close overall, and it's really more just like a dance between the two teams, and both looked pretty doing it. Just CRAKD ended up ahead. But it's not to downplay Sihi's play, because Sihi's play, there was a lot of beautiful interplay, taking hits for each other, shielding, just, some things went CRAKD's favor and not Sihi's favor that round. But CRAKD bringing a bat chat, bringing a CS, bringing a bunch of 279Es, a 50B, and a bunch of chieftains. Sihi, double 50B, triple chieftain, 1E4, double CS, an EBR, and then a bunch of 279Es.
Yep.
Eventually, it's just like, 8-ish 279Es is what I'm saying. It's a bunch. You guys can see it. So CRAKD not opting for the 50Bs again, and Sihi opting for it. Sometimes I've seen teams on one side or the other, especially the northern side, opting for 50Bs and not so much on the south.
A50B, have a Ox method.
Oh, I did not see that. Ooh, okay, yeah. Correct.
And then Brett is going up the hill with Muscle. And they're going to actually encounter the...
Ooh, unlucky. Getting unlucky.
Brett barely missed.
I can hear Brett's voice right now after that. Unlucky.
Yeah.
in his flat
he might
tone.
Be in a bad mood. He might be like, of course.
And then he's gonna say, "Oh, he went for a poke again. I shot him. He's bad." Yeah. Like that in Brett's voice. And now Brett's like, they're trying to kill me. They brought like 8 tanks. I'm running.
Yeah, he's probably gonna. They are not.
Oh, there's a.
He flipped. Paradise flipped.
Call ambulance! Oh my god! Oh my god!
Oh my god! This medicine! Oh my goodness! Oh, I'm thinking ammo rack on the first guy that poked.
I'm sorry, I'm getting
professional full health ammo rack. Holy crap! What just happened?
Oh god!
Oh. Oh my goodness, and it looks like they're pushing down and going down the 8.
Oh, my dog is looking at me with the craziest expression.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my god, this is the second flip that I was like, you could have been more gentle. And then I felt like Skittles at the end just rammed him sideways to just be like, God, you moron. Like, you always do this in front of everyone. Embarrass me.
Rambo going back up the hill. Muscle's actually coming for him. Muscle's actually able to clip him out. Though unlucky, is still left alive on the hill. And now we're seeing another really heavy D-lane. E kind of like, well, sorry, G kind of fight. Fishy going in really hard.
They're going on no leak.
Yeah.
They are going to continue on and not actually pick him. They're just going to go for Illux. They're actually kind of realizing, like, hey, we don't actually want to stay on that line. Oh, October's on fire. And they go, yeah, the Chieftain's more of an issue, and we can get safe to everyone. October, though, the engine's out.
2790s are coming, though. They're going to actually poke. Fishy needs to get down and
yeah, not back up. Not back up.
And he's going to be picked here now as a result. He just needed to actually probably just hug. Yeah.
Just tuck in. Just be alive. Because now Flounder's in an awkward spot where he's in a turret break situation and he can't stay infinitely safe. While the North tries to clean up, CRAKD is trying to clean up. They are really up quite a bit of HP.
Kind of pushing him out, but yeah, might get away here. They're also doing a really interesting 8.
The Banana Road's also been awkward.
Winning the 8 as well. Dark actually pushing this off. It looks like, wow, looks like they
CRAKD just up so much HP.
The ammo rack really helped them out. But they also just had this really insane push going in, and
there's so many little things going on. The North fight was going on at the same time the Diagonal Road was going on, and the same time that G line was going on. I feel like we have to rewatch this and like cast 3 different battles, and every one of them will have the flipping on the hill.
Yeah, that was. It was way too much going on. It was way too fast. While the homie was flipping on the hill.
While the homie was flipping on the hill. I feel like that's like a Jeopardy question. In what World of Tanks cast was the homie flipping on the hill?
Anyways, the homie was flipping on the hill, and while the homie was flipping on the hill, they literally took the 2 line away from them. They received the push from hill really well. I think it was their guy named Skittles. Just got full on ammo racked. It looks like Brett actually might have been the one. 5,600 damage with only 11 pens. He might have been the one that actually got that ammo rack off. Oh, sorry, it was Lazy Cheek. Lazy Cheek got ammo racked. He was the first one.
He was destroyed by Ox.
Yeah. I think he got full on ammo rack.
Yeah, Ox 5,600, 4 kills. Yeah. It's if it wasn't like it was the second or third shot, it was a
it might have
big
been the
amount
second
of
or third shot, but his turret went boom.
Because Ox was set up on the 5 line in where the northern cap is.
Yeah,
at the start, so he shot that
ammo
cross.
rack getting destroyed. It was beyond insane. It was a really, and so while that was happening, like I was, they went super heavy on the 2-3. Just gonna push through the 2-3, and kind of just took it, and now they're tied. These teams are tied going into.
It was 6-2. HIMMELSDORF and Murovanka.
It was 6-2, and they've won like 4 in a row. It started the. So I know a lot of people like to make jokes, especially against like NA versus EU. They'll what'll happen is like NA will be down like 3 or 4, and people will go NA reverse sweep Copia. Right?
I just remember the NA like brain delay copy pastas of all like it's like
oh yeah.
It's what's most important too is that I feel like the scoreline's reflecting the play a little bit better now, because there were some close matches early, but they're also like, I mean, Sihi in the first half of these matches deserved to be in the lead, because although there were some close rounds, they looked better and sharper, especially on ENSK. Like that first, like they came out guns blazing on ENSK. And maybe part of it is we have some nerd gamers here that, you know, it's 1 o'clock in the afternoon start time for the East Coast, 10 a.m. West Coast. It takes them a little time to wake up, you know, but
yeah,
you know, now they're warmed up.
I'm warmed up. I'm ready. What are we putting me in? I go CS?
Let's go. Yeah, oh god, no, not CS. Not me or you. Smiley, you know what we're doing. We're in 279s and we're in that like one position. Like I'm the 279 that was oh shoot, was it Octo? I think it was Octo in
For
the
those of you
courtyard. Like
wondering,
that's my
while we're
position. It's
we're
like
going
the
into Sand River is going to be the next one.
oh yep, in 4 seconds we are getting ready to go. And yeah, I'm the 279 that's like the guy that pushes in the courtyard and is like, all right, I'll sit here until they push me. You guys do your thing. Sand River, I feel like this is a map that a lot of the NA players really like. I don't know about the RU players. I feel like the RU players have good metas on Sand River overall, though. They traditionally have, but the NA players do too. We'll see here. I feel like it's both teams' potential strength. CRAKD bringing double EBR, double 279E, and then a load. Is that 11 Chieftains? CE, double 279E, triple CS, double EBR, and then a bunch of Chieftains. I think it's 8. Maybe I should play some Clan Wars, Smiley.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
What clan are you in?
I'm an Aster, I think. Yeah, I'm an Aster. If Dodo's still an Aster, I'm an Aster. How's Aster doing?
It's fine.
Oh, that was that convincing tone. that's
Lazy taking like 1,300 damage in the middle here by on the move, a herd of on the move.
What do we call a herd of chieftains? What do we call like a group? You know, like a murder of crows. What do we call a herd of chieftains?
Mongolians. I don't know.
Mongolians.
I don't know because they were like. I don't know. They're like really good. I'm like
they're really good. Oh, they're like in the way that it's like terrifying.
Yeah, because they're dude weren't horseback.
Oh, I see. Yeah, like Genghis Khan style, like
yeah,
a horde.
Yeah, Genghis Khan, Mongolian.
I understand. I thought just Mongolian, like you picked like a random country. No, that makes much more sense now that you've explained it,
like,
and I didn't get it at first.
Like, yeah, we're talking like top shelf of their history.
They're a bunch of horse archers.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. They were OP.
Drinking, didn't they drink horse milk? Like their mare's milk?
Correct.
So they didn't have to carry as much food. Something like that.
Oh, that's actually interesting.
Something like that.
Well, they were
I'm gonna need, by the way, chat, you're gonna have to definitely Google fact check me on that because that could be total BS for all I know.
Well, I mean, that would, if you're
makes sense.
You're starving.
Well, not
You know
starving.
I mean?
It was more like just so you had rations on the move. Or you didn't have to take as many rations.
Like Machek water. Where is water?
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Oh, what is this? It looks like they're splitting their chieftains. It looks like they're going for Octo. Octo's not even looking the right way.
Octo, wake up.
Like, huh?
He's right there.
Look at him.
This is just a bit of a brawl, and it's really split with
brawl,
the north.
I think the CRAKD is
like down goes Tojo.
Super. I mean, look at the HP difference. We have a 6K, 6-7K HP.
And they did start with more HP because of the tanks, but not that much more. And now that they've gotten the blood, OP's pushing Dark. Up, he says, we're going over Dark.
Well, I mean, if you get pushed by the collar, I mean, I'm thinking you need to press the W key. Like, obviously.
No, OP will pick up Red Eye, and yeah, it's, 12,000, just not much damage being returned. It's sporadic and random, and just Skittles will be nice. It's a steamroll at this point. It's all over, and CRAKD will be up 7-6 and be on match point after this. They just brought more Mongolian horse archers to the Mongolian horse archer fight.
True. Who was really good in desert warfare back? I don't even know. They like blitzkrieged them. The
Mongolian Empire was so wide and vast. I mean, they did actually fight in deserts, sort of, or like, well, maybe not desert. I mean, they went around them, I suppose, like the Gobi Desert.
Yeah.
And
well, I mean, it's like tanks, right?
East.
So like, OP is now the Desert Fox, right?
Dark Ninja's about trying to get that last shot of damage and get whatever angle he can, so he's on the plateau. That was probably the most one-sided victory we've seen all day, I think. By far. not even close. I don't know if it was a miscommunication on what Sihi did, because when they split with those lighter guns and they went north and they had the CSs and stuff, I don't know if it was just because of the tank choices and what they had. They said, if they're there and they fight us in the south, we're just gonna be there with more chieftains.
Right. Sorry, I'm just laughing because I'm seeing the reaction like chat's having from seeing the tank flip. It's so good. Everyone's like, "What is going on? How many
I
flips
lost
was
it.
that?"
I couldn't speak for a bit.
I couldn't. It was hard to. It was such a good game too. Probably close to one of the best games. Um, and I just couldn't breathe.
God. I couldn't breathe. It was I was like in that like lightheaded state for the rest of the battle. So checking the post game stats really quickly. Verm 4500, external 3k, Flounder 3, I mean it's 3k, and really Illick's only one getting some going 3500, the rest for 2k and below. There's not much to see there in that post game. Say update my score sheet. So it is match point for CRAKD.
It is match point from CRAKD.
If they win this, it will be all over it as best 15, so first 8. But in order to do that, they have to win this next round on Sand River. Yeah, I think it was just they can see the end. There's no fog of war. They can see the enemy lineup, and I think they just said if they're going to. And honestly, CRAKD has been calling them out a little bit. We said that they split the map a lot, where I don't want to say see you're playing greedy in like a negative way. They play greedy in that they try to take a bunch of positions sometimes, and bank on like not being pushed somewhere too early, or if they are, that they can flex fast enough to react. But that Sand River was just they were taking everything, and the fact that they put that many chieftains up forward. When they know that they're facing an opponent with more chieftains and they don't have as many guns, CRAKD said, like, if they're there, we're just going to kill them and we're just going to win by default. And that's exactly what happened. And now, 50 seconds remain. But it's been, CRAKD's won 5 in a row.
Yeah.
And that was by far the most dominant
They
of
all
them.
woke up. They all got their fuel out, and they're like, "Brother man, we're from NA. We got to win these."
This has been a problem, by the way, when at the beginning of a season or in a preseason when we used to scrim like an EU or an RU team.
Right.
And it was like, it's still in that preseason funk of people getting used to it. And it was like, okay, we've got a new scrim partner. And then it's like a 1 o'clock start time or something. And some people may be gaming a little too late the night before, 5, 6 in the morning.
Right.
And then you go, oh, and now we show up and we don't play well for one reason or another. It's like, oh no, they're not going to want to scrim us again because you couldn't go to sleep. We have to set a bedtime.
Yeah, that's the worst. You get accounts on a different server so that you can scrim the other teams or other just clans on on the server in preparation for show match. And then when you set up the scrim, half of your team isn't on, and then the other team's just waiting. You think they're gonna want to do that again? Waiting 45 minutes?
Heck no.
Like, no.
And looking here, potentially the final battle, we shall see if CRAKD are victorious. Double CS for CRAKD, 1 EBR, and then a bunch of Mongolian chieftains. Sihi, 1279E, double EBR, 1 stirp, and a bunch of chieftains. So one more chieftain, if I counted correctly, for Sihi over, or no, for CRAKD over Sihi, but yeah, 11 versus 12 chieftains, I believe.
Yes, correct. The only difference between these two teams are that CRAKD has 2 CSs and EBR, and they went and Sihi went with the
1 stirv, 1 EBR,
and then 1 EBR.
So it's a split traditional mid play from CRAKD.
Ooh, they're doing the crazy mid play.
Yeah.
I feel like this works 1 out of 200 times.
It either works like in glorious fashion or it's really bad.
Shot in November in the back of the
Oh, the stirv is down to a 1 shot though. They are taking punish for this.
Yeah, because the EBRs are shooting him from behind as well. It's actually really.
And
killing a stirv in the beginning of the game when the stirv's main purpose is most likely to farm is actually.
And it was not Rambo, because Rambo's in the EBR now. As we said, a chameleon playing a bunch of different vehicles.
They have some people over pushing
Yeah,
Like,
these
No Lake
chieftains,
is
these four
kind of
chieftains
in
are
the
isolated.
open.
They're in there. OP's led the charge external, and Vermilion have gone in with them as well, and they've just encircled them. There's a bit of a counterplay coming in, and it's just an all-out brawl. Crack trying to get as many focus fight. They're trying to get the
While
kill
this is
shots.
happening in the middle, there is also they counter push mid, and
Yeah,
I think they
CE
might
are
win.
up because CE are able to get more guns in this southern fight faster, and Crack don't have enough in the mid to hold on. It's just probably going to be CE's game. It's
Oh my
somewhat
goodness,
close, but not
some
really.
some of these guys are literally just. I saw some of the chieftains switch to 8. Yes, eye roll. The boy, oh boyo.
Very well done by CE, and we say the traditional, but it's the traditional, like, oh, that one, like, you know, that mid play is, it's an all-in kind of. It's you're banking on certain initials from your opponent, and that you can get early isolations like that Sturv and have enough where, you know, if CE didn't have multiple guns still in the base, like only like one more gun or 2 max, they could have maybe continued pushing, but they just had more, and it just wasn't enough.
No, they had a couple sitting back at like a K9, which is kind of like what most teams do. It was really rare. Like, I don't think CE was actually ready for Cracked to actually push the K line with every head. That's like very rare opening. And they were kind of it's kind of one of those things where like mid pushes are kind of one of those things where you're kind of expecting there to be no resistance or very little. Like, you kind of go there to pick the Sturv and maybe like an EBR or something running in between the mid push, because like what will usually happen is if they have like an EBR doing like a FE run, like maybe the Chiefs can also pick that as well after Sturv if he like tries to run and back into the base or something, because he's going to be pinched between, you know, the 2 CSs, EBR and Chiefs.
Yeah, and I have to commend
Sand Rivers are usually that quick though, especially if both either team are like, you know.
Yeah, Sihi's like, they had just a calm response to that, a measured calm response. They knew that like that push in the north, that they were isolated there, but they weren't isolated for long. They had enough guns they could get there quickly enough. No sense in panicking, and they just made the right reaction. They lost some chieftains for it, but they forced Crack to commit so many guns in there that once they're in that bowl, they're just gone. And Flounder, 4K damage, Fishy 3300. But look at that Cloverfield, 4K, Lazy Cheek almost 4K. These chieftains, my god. Red Eye 3200, 2 kills. No Lick 3K, 2 kills. Really well done. And I want to check Rambo's like Lot Labs. I want to check his stats because I'm just curious, like, in pubs, you know, like, it's like, what does he play mostly? You know, because sometimes it's like, oh yeah, I'm the EBR player or whatever, and you see them, they're like, yeah, he's got like 2K games or 3K games in the EBR. And then,
wait, where'd the special battle go?
Oh, they probably have to manually create one for the tiebreaker.
Oh,
that's all.
I was like actually had a panic attack.
As far as I'm aware, yeah, I did.
I was like, wait, I can't press the battle. Ready up. Can't ready up. I thought I missed the battle. I was like, are you in game?
If you see it pop up, let me know, because I am trying to watch, but I'm also pulling up my other window. But yeah, it is 7-all, so yeah, I think they just need a moment here. Let me check Discord.
Score is now 7-7.
Did you know the tiebreaker map beforehand?
Yeah, it's Prok.
Okay.
I don't know.
I'm guessing that they have to create it because they probably have to like do a side picking thing where it's like, you know, based on who did the most damage or whatever, what the tiebreaker rules are.
It's probably like what, fastest attack?
Probably fastest attack would be my guess. And I can't, for the life of me, after 14 battles, remember which one was fastest attack when. This has been a lot of fun. I know you were a little slow at the start.
Of course,
you were waking up, but now we're rolling. And we had some issues in, yeah, again, sorry for the camera. I should have gotten a picture of you and just been like, there's Smiley. And it's just like one of your emotes sitting next to me on my screen. But yeah, we didn't have time to reconfigure our cameras, guys, so sorry. We're doing it.
I could send you a GIF of like doing like
Of you just like doing like a thumbs up, like a really cheesy thumbs up with a big like grin or something. I don't know.
me just like looking around the smiley check one.
Oh, the Pulp Fiction one.
Mm.
The
What?
the what's his face? Oh shoot, the actor. Oh shoot, Samuel L. Jackson and what's his face? Travolta. The Travolta look like like the looking back and forth.
Mm.
Oh come on, Smiley, you know that gif.
Yes,
Oh,
I know.
the battle's popped.
The battle popped. How many seconds?
This isn't fair. No, I'm on the Russian side.
I'm on the NA side.
We'll see if now I can hear all the pings. I think that just whatever was in my audio settings on my EU client I had adjusted. We've actually got a little bit of time. We've got about 4 minutes till the battle starts. And yes, like you said, it is on Prok. It looks like we may have to flip the sides. Mine shows Sihi on the left and CRAKD on the right for the first time. Does it show you that on your special battle window?
He is tiebreaker owner, and they are choosing. What did you ask me? No, because I just
on your special battle window, is Sihi on the left or on the right?
C is on the left.
And was it there? If mine was flipped the other way for the whole thing before that.
Was it?
I think so. So I'm wondering, do I need to adjust my observer mod? Like
We could do it
them?
in game, but I don't know. I did mine already.
Did
so I
you
don't know
flip them or?
Yeah, I already flipped them. I don't know if I flip them twice, something happens.
Yeah, I don't know either, and I'm afraid it's going to be messed up.
Nothing like NA having scuffed a tiebreaker match in a show. I think we'll be fine. I'll just press the commands. If it doesn't go well.
I don't know how to swap it in game though.
It's a viral. Sent it to us.
Oh, okay. Control Shift U.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Just in case, I'm gonna swap it now. Because I think that it should be swapped. And we will just see. And it is 7-7. Got about 2 minutes until we start. Sorry, you said I was looking at 2 different chat windows. I'll do like you said, I'll change it in game if it is incorrect. But yeah, it's all down to a tiebreaker, and overall, I mean, I don't know which team deserves the win more. I would love to, no matter who wins, I want there to be kind of a rematch, to be completely honest, because I feel like either team can win this round, and I feel like if they played again next week, the other team, like either team could win again, and I think that both teams only stand to get better with like matches like this. This is a fantastic set of matches. So Sihi is on side 1, which means that they are defending.
Yeah, it says they picked the defending side.
Okay.
I mean, and then if they want to, I mean, it's Prok tiebreaker, they really want to win this. You know what they do? They camp that 2 line like they did last time.
And they won,
they didn't.
and they won both rounds on Prok last time too. And
yeah, they did one Prok. Like you just, I mean, those 279s are caked up back there because you have to bring serves to kind of bleed it, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's really hard, and then they can just push out in time.
Yeah, I hope you guys have been enjoying it. It's been just a great set of matches, and I hope we get to do more of this stuff. I really like the cross-regional stuff. I want more of this type of thing to be going on. Just where plans from RU play, NAEU play, NA APEC play. It just makes it feels bigger. than just, you know, the NA teams play each other all the time. The RU teams play each other all the time. This is great, but we got 2 seconds. Give love to CRAKD if you want them to win.
Me like that? I almost ready down.
Oh, Jesus.
You said it like because I thought I wasn't ready up.
Oh, like we were in and like, oh, I'm sorry. No. Yeah. Here we go, and it looks like the swap was correct on my end. We'll see in a second. Sihi bringing the E100 Red Eye. It looks like 2 907s, 2 279Es, a stir of 2 EBRs, and 7 Chieftains. CRAKD bringing 1 CS. 5 907s, 1 279E, double stir of double EBR, and 4 Chieftains.
Let's go.
That E100. And Rambo's in the EBR. Feel like it's worth noting. Solutions juking some shots, not taking any damage, not returning any fire either onto December. No one taking damage. Rambo and Muscles seeing each other off on the other side. And you made a good point about the initials. I think that Sihi's initials are a little bit different this time. I feel like they have more tanks over in the 6 in the back. And obviously CRAKD's initials are much different. It is a heavy 2-line.
Last time they went for like 9-line, a little bit of 9-line.
And the 279Es playing in the 3-line finger and the 4.
Dark is having flashbacks.
Oh no.
Solutions. Oh, it didn't go down.
Solutions goes down. December getting the shot. I just tabbed over to Dark right when the explosion happened. Solutions dead on the hill. Solutions has gotten himself into some trouble in the EBR throughout these matches. He's died early a few times or taken a bunch of punish early, and that was really for not much info other than they aren't super aggressive on the hill.
My favorite player. Don't you talk bad about Solution.
And a lot of it too could be the call. It could be, you know, a little mistake here or just
I love
getting
how
unlucky.
I kind of love their like Solutions was in front of Unlucky. Like this is so good.
They do have some good names too on their team. I like some of these names. We got No Lick in the back. Like, you know, Overwatching Unlucky.
Lazy Cheek.
Yeah, Lazy Cheek with like 3 E's.
Is Cloverfield like? Isn't that that weird movie?
It's like a generic name in a movie.
Oh, it's a movie. Or it's a game.
It's like a generic. It was a movie, yeah. Cloverfield Lane and Cloverfield came out.
I can't remember if I'm thinking of something else. Wasn't it? Was that the one in New York City where there's like a giant monster, but they never really show it?
Yeah, and then the second one was John Goodman in a bunker. It was like similar, but like in the same world or something different.
It was kind of like a thriller take on like, I don't know, like a Godzilla kind of deal. Because it wasn't a horror, but it was kind of like more thriller. It didn't have like tiny monsters or something.
I remember it was, especially at the time, it was the advertising for it was like no one knew really what it was until the movie came out. They didn't like release trailers that told you the whole story. So there was a really, it was a really. And I think it was like mid 2000s. Yeah, there was a lot of hype and like, what is this?
I swear I was still in like school in that movie. Like,
I think it was mid 2000s ish.
High school. I swear it's like a 2000, maybe 10, maybe.
Really? Was it that late? My God, it could have been.
I swear. Yeah, no, because the CGI wasn't that bad.
Yeah, CGI was good. It was a solid movie. It was fun. I don't know how it holds up to the time.
For all we know, there's a Russian town. That's just what you know what I mean. He named it up.
Or he really loves the movie.
Yeah, or he really, could like the movie.
Like Cloverfield feels like a generic American, like Elm Street type of name.
There's not really a lot happening in middle. For those of you wondering, Red was taking some bleed on the Chief.
Getting a cheeky shot there.
Back there. They've been kind of taking a lot of bleed, but I think the really important part of this match is how Dark can't climb up because he doesn't, I don't know what's going on. Dark, what are you doing? Dark's my homie.
Dark's still hanging out in his spot. He will live or die at that position, right?
Well, I don't know if I guess he's waiting for the other 907s to come up because they're gonna push out Unlucky because they need to take. They only have 5.5 minutes.
Oh, Dark's actually pushed up quite a bit.
Was the timer right? Was it? Are these 10-minute battles or 15?
I think they were 10-minute battles, but this
Okay.
one, yeah, this would be 10 minutes. I don't think it
Okay.
was 15. There's no way it's been 10 minutes. Yeah, they've been 10-minute games. And Vermilion and Dark in this kind of pseudo hold down, getting shots onto Unlucky, and the push in on the 7 happening simultaneously with the 907s pressuring up to try to take control. Unlucky does go down to Dark. And cracked up
The
2
problem
guns.
with this, like we were saying, beating that cluster at A3 is so hard. But look at Nolik! Oh my god, look how much
He did
I
not
missed
make
it,
it
but
out.
that was
He was trying to
insane. They took, like,
run.
no bleed for killing him.
He was at A6 and he was trying to get across and get out, but he just didn't leave early enough. And they all
And they
done
do
3
have more
guns.
EBRs. I think what's going to happen is they're going to YOLO one of the play would be YOLO one of the
Red
EBRs.
Eye's down
to
2
kill
in the
their EBR.
U100 on the 6.
Yep.
They're down 4 guns and Cracked are up about 5,000 HP. All they have to do now is
That's
kind
the
of
thing though, is like one
Chase needs
really
to be
bad
careful.
like one really bad push, like trying to push these guys out could literally lose that. HP gap could literally be.
And look at that, Flounder and JH get out, and that's perfect. All they have to do now is they know it. They're like, guys, we're up. Everyone calm down. We have 4 minutes. Just get those 907s out. Get them over to the 2 line. We are just going to shove everything. And look at this, more and more bleed on the 3 line finger. Gum drop down here, down to 6 HP. Paradise is behind him. He will be going down in a moment, given it looks like a hold down. But eventually, no matter how strong that 2 line defense is,
Can't poke until they get their rep kits back, to be honest. Like I wouldn't.
they have 4 minutes. Those 907s are starting to come over, and they're just going to say, hey, just take a nice safe route, get on over, and down goes.
Oh, wow. Muscle's actually able to pick that guy. Taking his time, being very methodical.
Now they
Rambo's
can just
still in
take
that
their
push.
time
Rambo
and
is
push.
literally, if they kill Rambo and they can get the Sturves up, it's GG.
Getting very
I'm telling you
antsy
guys
trying
right
to
now.
find Rambo, and the 907s are arriving now. The question is, are the
Oh,
907s
December is gonna go. He's gonna go for him. He's gonna
He
proxy
will
light
light
him.
him. And
And
down
there
he goes, and
down,
December
and
still
December's gonna
alive.
live. He might live.
He should
He might
die
actually
here to
live.
the next volley, but he may get lucky as he
Oh my
continues
god,
to
if he
skirt
doesn't
it.
live, this is
He
2
actually lives.
EBRs up?
November took the hit for him.
Wow.
And here comes the push. Cracked up, still about 4,000 HP. They will lose a lot in this push, but it should be enough. They have such an advantage. But see, he not giving up.
Pushing
Ox
into
does
the
goes
ball
down.
here.
907's going in for these 279Es. Down goes November. And down go the double 279Es. There's just about 6 tanks remaining for C. He in this corner, in this hold down, all these chieftains. The rest of the team kind of starts to arrive, but Muscles does go down, and it's, you know, they need to be just very sure when they make the push, and down goes the Sturv on the outside. Only 197 on the outside. They have him completely contained. The second these chieftains poke up, Sturv's in the back Kenway, farming monster amount. Fishy getting the kill. And that's pretty much gonna do it. Smiley and A are gonna win this in a tiebreaker.
Wow. Yay. Yeah, Solutions dying really early in game. Because, you know, they kind of went with that they went with that very traditionalistic proc camp, which is very strong. As you can see, it took them a lot of time. And what the thing is too, if that EBR didn't die, or if they would have brought like 3 lights, or if they wouldn't have brought the light zero, maybe it would have been like a mana core. I don't know how this would have went.
That EBR dying ended up being the thing that kind of killed the chieftain on the 9 line and killed the chieftain as he ran on the A line. It killed a couple extra guns because they didn't react.
They had tanks over rail, and you kind
Yeah.
of do need tanks over rail just to like buy time, because the thing usually that's not like we camp and kill them. Most of the time, it's either we camp and we re-push out into them if they push us badly, or we slow it down so much that we end up running down the clock. It's a more of a clock rundown slash kind of take it away from. But that was a really, really good game. It was very, like I said before. I think OP kind of really like proc and kind of see that.
And they
Though they
lost
lo- I
2
think they
rounds on it
lost
early,
both,
but
right?
that was a more traditional way. And once they got it looked like once OP got the advantage, once they got the pick that you pointed out, they knew like the methodical steps to take. And they took them, and it even worked. Like, they should have taken more punish for picking that chieftain on the island than they did. But even so, that's like neither here nor there. It's just things were going really well step after step. And yeah, look at the post-game stats. Kenway and Brett at the top, 3,600 damage each in the Sturves, 3,500 from OP, 3,500 from Octo, 3,500 from Verm, 3K from External, Dark Ninja, 2 kills. Like, it's just, and really Sunrise, Lazy Cheek, and Top got the most damage in their chieftains. But yeah, you can see just the E100 was just kind of too big and was able to get turret broken too much once he was in that position, not able to get out any damage. And the two chieftains getting out 2-0s, it's just not going to win you the game.
Right. And that was a really, really good showing of both clans. It was so good. Like, there was literally, it wasn't even a blow for blow, right? Like, it wasn't a blow for blow. It was literally straight up. It was literally straight up. One team would win 4 in a row. The other team would win 4 in a row. You know, and
some close games even in those two. And yeah, it was a
right.
fantastic showing, and it went the distance, a best of 15. And I hope that these two clans like get to play again, because I mean, look, it was close, and we don't get to do these things that often. I would love it if more of these type of events happen, because I'm sure CRAKD would be down, and I'm sure that Sihi would be down, and if we can get more of these type of games when we can. And it was a lot of fun to cast it, and players get to play against each other that don't normally play against each other. But yeah, congratulations to CRAKD, and a good showing from Sihi as well. And congrats to the NA region on their victory.
True.
Smiley, I suppose that pretty much does it for us here. Anything we want to shout out? Where can people find you on Twitch, Smiley? I've been looking, and I just can't seem to find it. I've misplaced your name.
It's just Smiley Rage. Twitch.tv Smiley Rage.
Wow, nice playing along with my joke. Good job, Smiley. But yeah, Smiley Rage with a Y, by the way, in the Smiley. You can find him 3 marking tanks, and just hanging out and doing lots of funny voices while doing it. I'd say that is that your calling card? The unicum of mini voices.
I mean, I do okay impressions. They're not insane, right? But
they're better than mine. Done. And you can find me, twitch.tv/germ_NA. And yeah, I guess, Smiley, should we find someone to host? Obviously, it's on a delay, so we'll wait to do the hosty thing, unless you plan to play any this afternoon.
No, I don't really.
Let's see, who is playing? Docky is playing. Mylan's playing, but that's German. Kaizu's playing. I'm not following Kaizu. Thought I would have been. Any NA players playing that you can see that we should host? That ideally aren't playing in the tournament, since I assume they'll be ending their stream, because I see Dark Ninja was streaming it. We can just send people to Docky, I suppose. Docky likes these types of events and hosts us a lot of the times when we cast it. But I'll just send people to Docky. Give Docky some love.
You're sending people to Docky?
Yeah, I'll send people to Docky.
Okay.
So yeah, have a good afternoon for those in America. Have a good evening for those in Europe or Russia. And we will see you guys next time. See ya.
Yeah.